swamp shower where the trailers stand in line. Frodo's in the mud, drinking homemade shine. Bilbo's on the porch, telling tales all day long. Everything was quiet till the ring came along. Candle rode up on his mule named Joe. Said the ring's trouble, we gotta hit the road. With the swamp behind and the mountains ahead, we're just good old boys doing what Gandalf said. Frodo's carrying the ring and it's dragging slow, but we're marching through the mud with a steady flow. Aragorn's a tracker hunting coons at night. Gimli swinging axes, but his aim ain't right. Legolas is prepping, shooting bugs off logs. Harwin's painting toenails, yelling at the dogs. Saruman's a neighbor's always causing grief, scheming in his tower like a backwoods thief. With the swamp behind and the mountains ahead, we're just good old boys doing what Gandalf said. Frodo's carrying the ring and it's dragging slow, but we're marching through the mud with a steady flow. Frodo's feeling rough, that ring's getting mean. Sam's frying up catfish, keeping Frodo lean. Boromir's all tangled, lost in the dark. Galadriel's telling fortunes in the back of her yard. Gollum's that we're cousin we don't bring to town, but he's family, so we keep him around. With the swamp behind and the mountains ahead, we're just good old boys doing what Gandalf said. Frodo's carrying the ring and it's dragging slow, but we're marching through the mud with a steady flow.
You look goofy.
Do you wanna take a life? Do you wanna cross that line? Because it's a long way back from hell.
Now, what I've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
Vagina. My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
Here they come and the crowd cannot wait. Oh, hail Friday night tights. I apologize cause I'm probably late. Oh, hail Friday night tights. Radical light and highly organized. It's Friday night tights, Friday night tights. If you're still not offended tonight, oh, hail Friday night tights. Rest assured that the chances are high. Oh, hail Friday night tights. Radical light and highly organized. It's Friday night tights, Friday night tights. Time has come, they are finally here. Oh, hail Friday night tights. We're not affiliated, just so we're clear. Oh, hail Friday night tights. Radical light, organized. It's Friday night tights. Sweet Mother Mary, turn on the oil you got real. It's Friday night tights, Friday night tights, Friday night tights, Friday night tights, Friday night
Hello. What's up, everybody? It's night. It's nighttime, as promised, right on time. An 8 o'clock Central live stream to scoop up some of the real BBC stuff today and the leftover FNT stuff. And it feels like it's been hours since I've seen you. Hello, Father. Hello, Father. Somebody gave me this shirt and I love it. I want to show it to you. It doesn't make you as smart as you think you do. That pretty much sums up this entire channel. And for those of you, yes, Mark, for those of you having alien Earth withdrawals, no Mahler tonight, but you get me. You get me. Hopefully there'll be another show that comes out weekly that he and I can do soon. I guess the next one is Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is January, end of January, somewhere around there. I'm actually really looking forward to that show. I say this, it would be really hard to fuck up. It is probably the tightest George's writing has ever been. And it's a good little story. Lone Wolf and Cub in Westeros. Let's see who's here. Excuse me. Hydrate. Little Topo Chico. This is my favorite. It's my favorite drink. Brian Belmont. Welcome. Diego Salazar. Yeah, God, I owe you a Tulsa King episode. I just remembered that. I've been so busy. Holy crap. We'll do that tomorrow night. We'll do Tulsa King tomorrow night. I owe you guys a Tulsa King. Then I'm going to start doing them on Saturday night at I think it starts at 11 Central. So yeah, sorry about that. We had my son's birthday was this weekend, and then my other son was moving to Colorado. Back to you guys. Gochi Videos, Dark Star, what's up? Chris Wood, Coleman Black, Crew, the Armor Boy, Soul Jauran. Oh my God, I just sounded like I had a stroke again. M. Mooney, Caleb Wright. Hi, how are you? Cash Caster, what's up, brother? The freaking Chargers went and just did the most Charger thing possible. Have all the momentum, 3-0, go to some shitty ass, you hear me, Beardo, some shitty ass Giants team and fucking lose. And let's just not talk about my Padres tonight. Okay. Just not talking about it. Mitchell Jackson, welcome. Banofi Pie Crust. Thank you for the super chat. We'll get to that in just a moment. Welcome. Zodlander, Father Christopher Miller, mind your manners, chat. Oh God, sorry, Father. It's like I'm new. It's like I'm new. Seven Seeker, Greg E. SLZ Garage, Meta Super Family, A Viewpoint. It's a very concise name, by the way. Insanity, welcome. Thank you, Father. Bless you, Father. Thanks for trying. I really do. I appreciate it. And both my moms do. Although only one of my moms is Catholic. Sorry. The other one's Lutheran. The other one's Lutheran. And don't think, Father, for 1 second, every Christmas they send me they're kind of in a competition to bring me back into the church. It's kind of funny. It's funny. Luke Phil, what's up? They're trying. Mad Dog, Voodoo 62. Go Padres. I wish San Diego wouldn't become LA. It's too late. It's already become LA. What's up, Sindek? Forbidden Frontier. Oh yeah, we got to show that logo. We got to show that logo that you did. Yeah. So yeah, it's just chill stream tonight. Chill stream tonight. Just doing some squaring up. That's all. Just hanging out. Nothing significant like in the entertainment world. News this year has been insane. I don't think I'm underselling that. And I think we just kind of knew it would be. But still seeing it play out. I just want to point out that it's really strange. Don't you find it strange that Antifa took 4 years off? I mean, certainly Antifa, the communist organization, wouldn't have been down with the Biden administration. They don't necessarily do things that Antifa loves. Aren't they the ones who say Democrats get the bullet too? But it's strange that Portland Antifa just takes 4 years off. Nice little vacation. None of that stuff is going on. And then all of a sudden it ramps up again. It's almost like it's completely coordinated. And as I talked about when I was talking, what would have made one battle after another more interesting if you really want to get into the politics of revolution and secret cabals and rich people controlling stuff and just this basic bitch white supremacy organization and the revolution is just fucking great. Is how both sides are played off each other. And if the cabal was actually, if they presented it of what it's actually doing in real life, which is reflecting what's being done in real life, which is being funded by the people they pretend to protest against, being coordinated, and who was funding it? Tech billionaires, Hollywood producers, bored rich descendants, like uber rich descendants of billionaires who went to university and are bored with life and want to LARP as a revolutionary, even though they still live in their daddy's mansions with their daddy's trust funds. And CIA and groups that they fund all of these organizations, help coordinate them. They have coordinators, gaslighters, you name it. And they decide to disrupt society when they want to, particularly when there's love them or hate them, there's a president that the deep state, which totally exists, by the way. The one good thing about the last 5 years is more people have come around to understanding like that the deep state is not some crazy Alex Jones thing. He was right, and it exists. And they play off against each other to destabilize the system to create problem, reaction, solution. So they create the problem. We have a reaction. They come in with the solution. And as I said, earlier today, you're seeing it play out in the UK, where they flood your country with immigrants who are rape gangs running around, people getting stabbed. And then they go, hey, we got a solution to the problem. Digital ID will track your every move, and that'll keep the immigrants out, which it won't do. And it was all done to get that implemented, because they've been trying to get that implemented for the last 20 years. And now it's started. I mean, you see how manipulative the state media is. And when you say, well, the state media, well, Trump's in charge. Trump was voted in by the people. He's got, his branch of government. But the deep state is not voted in by anybody. They are lifers in there. They are Republicans. They are Democrats. They are uniparty, and they will be there long after Trump. And that is who's controlling the media. So when you see something like the Jimmy Kimmel thing, where he gets yanked off the air for his comments, and then ABC and Disney and Hollywood immediately use that as Trump is trying to silence him, while they're trying to change the narrative of the Charlie Kirk assassination. Of course, they were trying to put that narrative on Colbert before this had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk, obviously. And they use Trump as an excuse. Do you think, as Tulsi Gabbard said, Operation Mockingbird is still in effect. I don't think Trump could stop it if he wanted to. They could say, "Oh, we'll stop it," and they're going to keep going. We have breakaway civilization. Richard Dolan wrote a great book about it. That's what's happening. That's what's happening, and I just find it really strange, but not really, that we all of a sudden see, mass rioting pick up, and it calms down for a little while, then it picks up again. Thank you, son. He's bringing me my dinner. Thank you, son. And it's also obvious, and what we have to fight constantly is, well, the denials. And of course, this is all just my speculation, just based on circumstantial evidence that looks pretty concrete to me. And we're fighting people who either refuse to believe this is happening or don't care that it's happening and want it to happen. And want it to happen. And it's crazy. YouTube was they just invited me on some pilot program today. What was it? YouTube Studio. Yeah, it's changed so much this year. It seems to kind of worked itself out now, whatever the hell was going on. And I thought that every time there is a major change in the algorithm, it fucks it up for a month. But the bigger picture is they probably knew that this admission of censorship was going to come out, and they probably had to fix some things. I also believe it had a lot to do with bots, and they're trying to please advertisers. But YouTube, for the most part, has been pretty decent as far as demonetizing and silencing people. Not perfect, still doing it, but we'll see if they bring people back. We'll really see if that happens. But not to get too paranoid, but get paranoid. Get paranoid as hell. See how all of these things are connected, and see how, we got the Jimmy Kimmel news, and then right after that, we got the YouTube news, and right now Portland's going off right now. J.J. Abrams, Bad Robot, said it a few years ago. They don't want you comfortable. They want you uncomfortable. And they want to grind you down to the point where you're just like, oh God, make it go away. Do whatever you want. Just make it go away. That's what they want. And we can't let them. And it's going to be, the news, like I said, this year is going to be stressful. It's going to bring on anxiety. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point. So they grind all of us into submission. And that's why they have injected all of our comforts with all of this political shit, so we can never get away from it. But what they didn't count on is independent media. What they didn't count on is, well, we don't have to watch any of the new shit. And they didn't count on like autistic Karens, and for our side, by the way, like libs of TikTok going out there and finding that kid show on Netflix, which was absolutely disgusting. But I'm sure if you look a little further, you'll find more. You'll find a lot more. I forgot the name of the show. It's like Dead End something, and it's about transing kids. Something you can't. That's one thing you can't get into in a video on YouTube. But they're really going to push that. In my video, when the Hollywood Reporter framed J.K. Rowling's views as not supporting trans healthcare, what they were specifically saying is she's against transing kids. And transing your kid is healthcare, is fucking healthcare. These people are evil. Yeah, so crazy year. Crazy fucking year. Yeah, I went to go check and see if Netflix still has it there, and it's there, and a lot of people are canceling. A lot of people are canceling. People suck 2028. All right. Let's see what you guys have to say. My little ramble there. Yeah, I was, you know what? I was watching 15 minutes of the news, and my news is going on Twitter and just looking at live clips, looking at Portland. It's just like, holy shit. And before I get into this, what they want is they want to grind you in submission, but they also want that mythical far right. And listen, there's far right out there. Of course there is. It's just nowhere near the numbers of Antifa, and communism is a much bigger problem than National Socialism. There is thousands of communists to one true National Socialist in America. Oh, and they're filled, and they're all at colleges that probably Republican parents are paying for. That Republican parents, but they want the right. They want somebody to do something. They're baiting. They're constantly baiting. And I don't, because what will happen is I don't want anything violent to happen to anybody, even if it's somebody I don't agree with, even if it's like a trans person doing story hour. I don't want anything violent to happen to them. I just, my dream world is they'd realize maybe, as a drag queen, I should just keep this in the bars, where it's supposed to be, in the adult places where it's supposed to be, and not reading to fucking kids. That's what I want. I want somebody to have that epiphany to go, this is wrong. But they want something bad to happen. They desperately want it. And then they will just look what they did with Jimmy Kimmel. They tried to drown out the assassination of Charlie Kirk with Jimmy Kimmel getting suspended for a couple of fucking days. And they damn near did it. Superman outperformed Jurassic Park at the domestic box office. True. But Jurassic Park was much bigger success due to the international markets. Should we let international audiences affect the movies we make? Well, they do. We absolutely do. Brad, thank you, Brad, for the $9.99. They do. I mean, if you're asking me personally, if I was in control, no, because the thing is, the international audience has always liked American movies. So if you're an American financed movie being made in America, that should probably what you should be keeping in mind. And the problem is, though, American movies aren't American movies anymore, Brad. They're just not. And I think, Trump put on the tariffs. I don't even know how you do that, to be honest with you. I don't even know how you do that. If you want to make movies in America, then you find a state that gives good tax breaks. California can do it whenever they want. Whenever the fuck they want. And what happens is the state, and UK is going to do this very same thing, Brad, within 2 years, we'll say 3 years, because Australia did it. Canada did it. South Africa is going to do it. I think they were filming in, I can't remember. I think it was Portugal. They did it. Georgia did it. North Carolina did it. You lure people in with tax breaks, and then after they build their infrastructure, then you raise those taxes. The state's thinking, well, they'll just stay. And you know what they're going to do? You know what they do every time? They fucking leave. So UK, they will leave. All those big studios they're building, they will bail on you the minute that those taxes get raised and those breaks are gone, which will happen. But as far as should we let the international audience affect the film, it really that international audience's power is waning anyway, because of China was just a big shell game bullshit. But I think they should just make American movies, because my British friends and Australian friends, they just want American movies. They just want good movies. So I think they should focus on making good movies. Jurassic Park is indicative of what Hollywood is right now. Indicative of what Hollywood is right now. Superman outperformed F1 domestically. It outperformed a lot of movies domestically. It still didn't do that well. Little Platoon just put out a fucking clinic on what's wrong with that movie. 4-hour video, highly recommended. I watched damn near the whole thing. It was fantastic. It's a deeply flawed movie. I think the bigger problem is, Brad, is that the movies were just slop this year. We went over the top 7, and F1's good, but the movies I liked weren't even cracking the top 10 this year. And I've seen better streaming shows this year than movies. Spare a thought for my mom. Over here, 6,000 kilometers from home, sitting in vigil over her final hours. Hail FNT, hail chat, fuck cancer. Gawker's death rattle. Prayers to your mom. Prayers to your mom, brother. I've been there, man. I've been there. Just whatever time you get to talk to her or be with her, take it if you can. Just went through surgery on my ACL today. Oh, shit. Well, you're on the DL for the rest of the year. And on the men's already, still slightly loopy. I decided to finally watch James Gunn's James Gunn. Hated it. Who the hell thought Superman should be punk rock? Well, it's not. It's a complete misunderstanding of punk rock. It's James Gunn is like the hipster. It's a hipster's understanding of punk rock. Thank you, Luckfeld. Hopefully you're not too loopy. Don't drive. Well, your ACL's torn, so probably not. Tulsa King on Sunday, 2 episodes. Yeah, maybe we'll just do 2 episodes, Diego Salazar. Maybe we'll just do 2. That might be a better idea. Dark Schwartz Rising has been a member for 7 months. Thank you. Bought a few pie crust for $10. Gary, I very rarely get to see you live, so cheers. Also, I wanted to ask you how bad the Spaceballs sequel will be. Love you. Have a great stream. I think it's going to be pretty fucking bad. God bless Mel Brooks, you absolute fucking legend. But Josh Gad, who was pissing and moaning over people not liking The Last Jedi, is probably the last guy. I understand. Josh Gad, I'm guessing, is some form of Nepo baby. He's not funny. He's not talented. He's fucking fat. And he's stupid. So I could get into another theory, but I won't. War Dog 89 became a member. Thank you. Cheers, brother. Buy Gary's book, Make Him Feel Good. Well, you can't right now, but you will be able to. Once the Ripperson pre-orders are out, then it goes on to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, audiobook, all that stuff. So you'll have another chance. Gary, what's your thoughts on Simpsons sequel? None. Absolutely none. I haven't watched The Simpsons in 15 years, maybe 20 years. I think it's Disney running out of fucking things to put out. Alien Earth was pure dog shit. It was, Martin Turner, for 10 Australian dollars. Monumentally stupid. Just stop. I say this. I know they won't. Just stop. Just stop. And then we get a Predator movie. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with Superman sores, you may be entitled to compensation, says Snacks for $5. Old Man, you know. Oh, man, you know it's an AI movie made by people who never had to work in their life. I was working since I was 14, real. I've been working since I was... I mean, are we counting the paper route, Nick Tomato? Because then since 12. I went to Portland in 23 for work, stayed at a hotel downtown. The company told us not to go out at night. Everything was closed and walkers everywhere. Yep. Used to be a beautiful city back in the day. I bought the All I Want bundle and can't wait for it. Thank you. Joey, thank you for being a member for 24 months too. Hail Nerdrotic and hail the fellowship. I've been watching long enough now that I could say I'm leaving work, and I now look at my coworkers' bosses and say, "So long, gay boys." Hell yeah. Just don't get in trouble. Aren't you due for a room tour? Just came to mind. Well, I did a little video this morning, and yes, I'm due for a room tour, which will probably be just me walking around with my phone, and it'll probably be a video of just me telling little stories about, well, each action figure has a story, but I don't think I can get into each story. But yeah, a full room tour, and then we're going to do room tour, my research closet, my closet within a closet, because I'm so gay, my closet has a closet, with the Comics for Real BBC. Then I'll take you around the home theater. Then I'll take you downstairs in the game room. The game room. Bring your proposed idea of a podcast tour to South Florida. Health Minister of Belgium for $9.99. Yeah, I think that's kind of a more doable idea than a con. We could make it like a conference. So a con, you have to rent out. I mean, like, realistically, we don't have to get some fucking expo center, Scottish Rite Center or something like that, some little place. But then you'd have to rent out booths. You would have to get workers to be able to set these booths up. Tickets, organization, employees. It would just be really expensive. Now, our pals at the Unsubscribed podcast do a tour. They do a tour, and they pack places, and they do shows. Now, my idea would be like a day of shows. So like the UFO conferences we go to, it's just a day of shows. And then maybe we can do like merch tables on the outside, which is what the conference, basically what Cosmic Summit did. And I know that was still a nightmare to plan because you're planning hotels and stuff like that. I would just keep it very simple. We'd rent a theater, we'd do shows all day, and we start out like really simple, couple cities a year. But Unsubscribed does it. I mean, they're a much bigger podcast than me, but they pack the house all the time. The thing is, though, my focus will still be on meetups because I don't charge for those. If we did a live tour, we'd have to charge, to at the very least pay for the venue, right? Pay for the venue. We'd probably have to pay to get some people out, like Shad from Australia. But don't want to get too far ahead of myself. With meetups, which I always do, it's a thank you to you guys. So I try to make at least the first round of drinks on me. I get the place. It's absolutely free. If you could just get there and come in, and we just hang out. I will always do those. As crazy as they get, I will always do those. And I heard, I think Dante talking about security, like at a con or an event like this. We handle that. We handle security. I know Jeremy does. I know I do. And then there's, of course, guys are packing. So you're perfectly safe at these places. Plus, they're not outdoor, and I'm sure like it's a legit concern. And we've talked about it before. Like, we get threats everywhere we go. Fuck. And how fucking retarded is that? How absolutely retarded is that? I'm going to threaten you because you don't like the movie I like. Yeah. One, I believe this guy's in Portland. Not going to say his name. We'll just say, if Vosh fucked himself and had a kid, that's what this guy would be. Admitted to calling MegaCon. admitted to calling MegaCon, like just pure beta behavior. Hey, buddy. Just wanted to say hi. Watched you every day. Thank you. Haven't kicked drinking yet, but at least the job is going well. Good. You're my hero. I want to kick the habit soon. Sushi Oshi for $10. You will do it at your time. You will do it at your time. I just pray it's before you hit bottom. That's where I had to quit, and a lot of people have quit. But like having it rolling around in your head is a really good first step. I don't want to discourage that at all. But there's no way I'm going to tell you like, oh, you should quit right now. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. It'll be fine. Just be depending on how long you have, and it's great that you're honest about it. Depending on how long you've been drinking, you need to be in a position where you can take a little time off. Because kicking the alcohol is not fun. Is not fun. Captain Geach, $4.99. Hail, Gary. Have you ever listened to No Agenda podcast, busted by Adam Curry, XMTV, and John Dvorak of PC Magazine? Yes. Love Adam Curry. Absolutely great. And he's in Texas. That's right. Ian Jenkins for $20 Australian. Hail, Gary. First time super chat. Oh, yeah. Just wanted to share with everyone that I welcomed my newborn son, Clark, into the world. Yes. Fatherhood. Love your work and all the good people at FNT. Big fan. Now with a little fan. Making new fans for FNT. That's great. And somebody who will take care of you and somebody you can boss around. And then when they get a little older, you can fuck with them because it's super fun. You know, my wife and I like roast our kids all the time, but it really sharpened their sarcastic wit. See, so there was a whole point to that. It was announced today, Eric July, gonna be a dad. Eric July. He's gonna bring back the black, the black middle class family by himself. That's good. Get it started. Get it started. Cancel Netflix because what they did to Charlie, Jeremy Griggs' dad. What did they do to Charlie? Did the person who make that show like clown Charlie when he was, well, his assassination? I think that's what I heard. That's fucking unbelievable. But it's some little yeah, I would check that guy's history, the guy who made the show. Promise you there's some skeletons in that closet. I'm actually here on set and just tuned in. Says, oh, Cody, what's up, brother? What's up, Cody? I personally think the idea of somewhat simple but too much to type here. Incentives are good, but are just a race to the bottom. No loyalty to locations and crew. It's great. I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Cody. Make something that lasts. Is that what you're saying? Like if you're gonna make an incentive, like actually build something that you're not gonna fucking bail out on in a couple years or 3 years. All this racing around, Hollywood themselves, the city of Los Angeles, there's a lot the city could do to make it easier for you guys there. Not just California. California could too. But considering it's not California's biggest industry, not even close, but it's a big enough industry to warrant, listen, taxation is theft. Even for fucking woke Hollywood, taxation is theft. But the problem is, Cody, as you know, the motherfuckers who work there, who are bitching, are the ones who vote all the people in who created the system that they're in. They're fucking clueless. Love you, Cody. We got to hang out soon. Steve O for $19.99. Thank you, Steve O. Benji the Salted for $10. I just saw the teasers for the new Vince Gilligan series on Apple TV. I'm curious. It's called Pluribus. I've heard about it. I didn't see the teaser yet. Maybe we'll look at it. I am definitely curious because it's Vince Gilligan getting back into genre. The American culture Hollywood created is more resilient than the wokesters within today's Hollywood trying to destroy it. Oh, our culture will survive. Will Hollywood survive? I got to eat a little bit. Will Hollywood survive? That's the question. Sorry, I have to eat. I wanted to survive because there's actually a lot of people who work there that I like Cody. Could you give my mom, Gwen, a happy birthday? She's 79 today. Love the channel. God bless. I'll get on camera for this. Gwen, 79 years young. Happy birthday, lady. Happy birthday. Sorry. I meant to eat before the show. Very rude. I didn't bring enough for everybody. I just needed a snack. Matthew Hammond. Oh, no, man. My dad passed away last week. I've been dealing with that. All that, driving 12 hours and back to take care of stepmom. Need to process Alien Earth was trash. Oh, man. I know what you're going through right now. And it's absolutely, I mean, there's no words I can say to make it feel better. Hopefully dad's in a better place. But now, and everything you have to deal with afterwards is just rough. You'll get through it, brother. Mad Dog for $1.99. House of Guinness thoughts. I still recommend Task. Okay, House of Guinness thoughts. Which is on Netflix. Might not be finishing it. It's really well shot. It is a pretty show. The sets are fucking amazing. I'm intrigued by the characters, the Guinness family. I'm interested to hear your thoughts because what it feels is a bit rushed. It's feeling like they're going through events a bit rushed, a little bit, but I'm into it. I want to see it through. So we made it to, I think, episode 4 or 5, where they're cozying up to the rebels, the Irish rebels, and they're taking a lot of artistic license. Now, I think it's Sir Arthur Guinness. They believed he was gay because he was in a marriage and they didn't have any children, and that's the only evidence they have to go on, which, I mean, sure. That definitely happened back in the day where they would set up marriages. There's even a term for it, right? And it makes for good, like, drama. It makes for good drama. But writing's good. Acting's good. It's no Peaky Blinders. But I'm interested, and I could care less about, like, I've never had a Guinness in my life. But I like those kind of I do like those kind of shows a lot. And Stephen Knight's a great writer. So I'd say try it out, but I have to finish it. Bolivian Overlord is a new member. Thank you. Welcome. Buford T. Justice for $49.99. Buford T. Justice. Gary, we don't ask for much. Just don't be gay. Never give up. Never surrender. Okay, I'll do my best, Buford. I'll try not to fall on any cocks. Thanks, brother. Somebody saw that room tour, Buford. I did. And I got the virgin who lives in his mom's attic. And it wasn't like a joke. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, well, close. It's my upstairs bedroom. So it was upstairs. It's my house. 2 kids are grown up. But you know what? Right now, I'm an incel because my wife's out of town. Just wanted to let you know since you look like you need reminding. San Diego is one day closer to continuing the record of no championships. Thank you, Blair. I am fully aware of continuing the streak of losing. Loser. Sindek, I can drive over there and be the cameraman for a proper room tour video. I'll even edit the video. Call me. You have my number. Chill streams rock. Ah, thanks. Maybe I should. Maybe that's a good idea. Alex, thank you for the $9.99. I appreciate it. Hail. I just saw part of Superman 2025 where Crypto attacks Lex. You know, they put dogs down for attacking people. They do, but not CGI dogs. Ivana, 7107 for $5. Hi, Gary. Just wondering if FNT would have a meetup in New York City. I know it's a ghetto. It's ghetto out. It's expensive here, but I would love to meet you guys. Well, we'd love to meet you too. New York City. Oh. New York State is a possibility. Is that close enough, Ivana? There is a guy who's got a drive-in who's offered us the place to do a meetup, and I fucking love the idea. We could like play Lord of the Rings and have a meetup at a drive-in. Like, would that be close enough? It's in New York State, and I'm going to take him up on that offer next year. Neil Horn for $2, and thank you, Ivana. Neil Horn for $2. Hail, Gary. Are you excited for your Egypt trip? Absolutely. Terrified of the flight, Neil. Terrified. So when I go on these big trips, it's all about anxiety. Get on the plane, anxiety. And then when I get there, stoked, ready for an adventure. I'm not worried about going to Egypt and, you know, being in Egypt. That's not my concern at all. It's the plane. But we got our flights and it's doable. It's doable. We're flying into I think the UK and then going from the UK to Cairo. I wish I could stay in the UK. It's just a 4-hour layover. Sushi Oshi has become a new member. Thank you, brother. Bandit for $5 says, my son turned 4 months a few days ago. Sent my first super chat a few months ago after we got home from the hospital. Being a dad is rad. Hail, Jack Gunner. Being a dad is the best. Never thought I wanted kids until I had kids. Life gets so much better. Hey, man, my first super chat. Hey, Mr. Draymond for $9.99. Thank you very much. Wish I had something interesting to say. That's good enough. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. It's all good. I wish I had something more interesting to talk about on the live stream. I do. We're just going to chill. But, you know, when you do a big, long live stream on Real BBC, kind of covered all the subjects. Plus, it's kind of slow entertainment-wise, except for JK dropping a fucking nuclear bomb on Emma Watson, which was hilarious. It's so refreshing. I mean, she's got fuck you money, but it is super refreshing to see somebody out there just being real in this instance and calling out the actors. They're all that phony. They're all that fucking phony. They'll all put a knife in your back and then see you at a party and go, hey. I mean, that's just the nature of the business. Look at the Saudi Arabian Comedy Festival. And as both Az and I said earlier, it's like, it's not like I'd turn down the money, but I'm also not shitting on America, calling it a slave nation, and then going to an actual slave nation. But the J.K. Rowling thing was refreshing. It was great to see. It is absolutely insane that nerds are threatening nerds with violence who just have different opinions. It is absolutely insane, but that's indicative of what the problem has become in fandom, because it has been invaded by so many like activists, right? So as you know, War Dog is what, you know, Mahler, Little Platoon, me, Az, Drinker, Jeremy, Ryan, name the lot. we're all called not right wing, far right wing, extremist, Nazi, blah, 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 by these people, when my views, I'll speak for myself, my views are generally, I don't want any like real world of the day politics, like you're doing some SUV series in my fucking Star Wars or in my Star Trek. I'm all about morality tales. With Star Trek, I'm fine with allegory, as long as it comes evenly from both sides. I have never been for my politics or right-wing politics being injected in entertainment. I'd hate that just as much. Thing is, we just don't ever see it. And the disingenuous part comes from these activist nerds who think they're actual nerds, but they want that stuff in there. They want messaging for trans and kids in their comics. They want to think when their favorite term, of course, is fascism. Now it's been around for a little. Commies love to use that term to really obfuscate from what they are, which is authoritarian. I am anti-authoritarian, which means fuck Nazis, fuck commies, fuck socialists. It's pretty simple. But they have to, when you have to lie, right? And you have to lie to cover your politics. Like, we're not communists. We don't want to trans kids. We aren't trying to push the envelope so maps will be okay. Who are definitely part of the plus right now. And they used to be a fringe little part of nerddom, and what they have done is they've driven away more and more normies, right? And that it affects the whole fandom. And we used to be able to hang out all the time, and the people who were the least fun to hang out were the super aggro, over political, just got out of college or just took some women's studies class, and they think they have just discovered the secrets of the universe, and they have all of their politics settled and figured out, and you are just a fascist. When in truth, that person is a very disturbed individual who has self-esteem issues, lots of self-esteem issues. If you want to look at an activist, if they're just not an outright, grifter, right, is most activists have severe mental problems and severe self-esteem issues. Hey, Gary, I'm still too broke to ever make it to a meetup. The campfire has still screwed me over. Oh, man. Debbie Moore's tapeworm. 7 years later, still a debt. It's fucking okay. So the campfire, folks, I don't know if you remember that. He's not talking about a campfire at a campfire. He's talking about the major fire that happened in Northern California that decimated a large portion of it. Actually, it burned down a school my kid was supposed to go to. And nothing's fixed. So maybe you have a little message for all the people in Malibu and Pacific Palisades. Sorry, brother. Anyways, when you're in Cali, I'd love to meet up for coffee and help you pack. We are going supposedly in January to get our storage out of there and make our last trip. Because I put a deadline on it. It's like I've been away for almost 3 years, and I don't want to pay a storage fee over there. I'll let you know. But we will be hitting the Bay Area one more time, and I'm going to get some content. I'm going to go down to the Tenderloin and get some content. What do you think of Brian Tyler Khan? Best Arkham? Hang on. Cohen? No, I'm not understanding that, but maybe I'm just stupid. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, buddy. Maybe you could explain in chat. You don't have to put up another. You don't have to put up another super chat. Did you ever finish watching Alice in Borderland? Sure, I heard you say on the Real BBC you were watching it. I was, James. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. It didn't grab me like it grabbed Az by the pussy and Disparu. I'm going to give it a shot, though. It's not bad. It's good. It's good. Just hasn't grabbed me yet. Ivana says, yeah, definitely do head upstate. All right, cool. I'll let you know. And thank you for the $2. Huffley, my favorite publisher who's not DC, Marvel, Image. Why? Dark Horse. Hellboy and their origins with Eclipse and Pacific Comics. But definitely Dark Horse because of Hellboy and BPRD. And I absolutely adored their Alien and Predator comics and their Star Wars comics. Remember, I used to be a Star Wars fan. Dark Horse, old school Dark Horse. Always better in Image. Panel at SpaceCon. If so, which date? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm guessing Saturday. And the panel, right as it stands, is just me. I got to get somebody out. I got to talk somebody out to come out. Sorry. I'm finishing a bite. How can you refuse free labor? And I Jewish, so you and I Jewish. So you know it's even tougher for me to offer a free labor. You helped me through a lot these last 8 years. Yeah, you've been around a long time, brother. So sorry. That's shitty. That's happened, brother. This is my lurker tax, day 33 of Gary still not reading Red Rising. When, not if, you like it and you question, let me know. I've read the series through 4 times. Mad Dog, I'll read it. Mad Dog, again, Demi, thank you, Mad Dog. Demi Moore's Tape Warner says, damn, I have a free super chat and I didn't use it. I guess I will now. Thanks for everything. Thank you. Kavik Savik for $5. JK body slammed Emma. Did you think we'd get back to episodic TV with streaming? It seems like it could work. Everyone streams old TV now. I think they are. And Cody, if you're still in the chat, maybe you can chime in on this with the rest of the chat. That has to be on their mind. It absolutely has to be on their mind. Going back to procedural. I think, and Cody could expand on this. I think what stops them right now is how expensive LA is, because to do a procedural, you'd have to really set up shop somewhere. But again, I've never been on a crew. I don't, I've been on like 2 shoots of my life. So I don't know the prospect, but the success of Suits 2 or 3 years ago and what the top streamers are is just procedurals. You think they could figure out a way. And it would be a great way to cultivate talent, like acting talent. You don't have to get top tier people, and do what you did before. Have seasons, do it weekly, keep people engaged for half a year. Remember, people were engaged in the TV realm for a half a year, half a fucking year. That reduces your churn. So instead of wasting $200 fucking million on an 8-episode series, instead of wasting almost $1 billion on The Witcher, that could have paid for 10 or 20 procedurals. And you could do genre procedurals. They don't have to be, they don't have to have cinematic quality CGI. What you need to have is engaging fucking characters. And find a fucking writer. None of this DEI shit. Dresden Files. Wouldn't you love to see a Dresden Files show? And I know there's books, but you can make that semi-procedural. And they've tried it before, but Dresden Files, man, tailor-made. 13% of nerds commit 50% of the inter-nerd violence. It's true. It's mostly against themselves, But it's true. Off topic, did you happen to see what Tyreek Hill did to his leg last night? Oh, I didn't. I don't know if I want to. Oh, the Giants game. Was that yesterday? Or is night before? Was it yeah. Not as dialed into the NFL as I used to be. I saw the guy get hurt, the Giant get hurt, tore his ACL. That was terrible. KSP for $5. Gary, what do you think about single season shows which contain stories, no loose ends, and wasted characters? And if good, then 1 or 2 more seasons max. I think like limited series is a great idea. Absolutely great idea. I would love to see more of that. The Duffer Brothers were talking about basically treating Netflix shows like movies. So you do something every 3 years. Fuck that noise. That's what movies are for. And you release your show. You release your show weekly. You can stream it afterwards. I think it's a good idea. DeLeos Garage for $10. Thank you very much for the 10. I appreciate it. Hail, did I say that right? Delios Garage. Hail, brother. I'm in Pennsylvania. Would love to go to a meetup. I'll make it to New York meetup. Hopefully happens. Go Yankees. That was a bad loss, man. I am not, don't get mad. Okay. I'm not a super big fan of like the Northeast. I'm a Westerner. I like the great Southwest. I like warm climates. I like desert. That's why I moved to Texas. I mean, it's not desert where I am, but it's definitely hot. For a tour, could probably get Eli's plan and copy that. Well, I plan to talk to him, Wired Eddie. We were chatting yesterday. Eli doesn't live that far from me. We've had breakfast and lunch a lot. Any news of rumors about Skydance saving Star Trek by dumping Kurtzman? My worry is they'll replace the current woke writers with different woke writers. God bless you, Gary. You're a true inspiration. Thank you, Boycott Disney 247 for $9.99. I'm just an idiot, but I'm glad. I appreciate the compliment. I do. I don't think Skydance is saving Star Trek. I'm just going to come out and say it. They gave us JJ Trek. I think Skydance will do what Warner Brothers. I mean, I think there is a narrative out there that just needs to be stopped. That like there's some kind of based movement in Hollywood that's not fucking happening. And it doesn't necessarily need to happen. What they need to be is not be obnoxiously fucking woke and make good stuff. But telling more traditional stories, going in that direction, I think that's happening. And they're trying to figure it out. And they can't right now. But there's a lot of rot in there, and I don't have an answer on how you get rid of it. I really don't. I think Skydance will be good for some stuff. They're responsible for Top Gun, but they're also responsible for a lot of fucking shit. And they're not, like Barry Weiss is going to be in charge of CBS. Now, some people, well, it's probably better than what they've had. But do you think CBS is going to fundamentally change under Barry Weiss? No. No. God, I hope so. But I there's so much damage done to Star Trek. And then Kurtzman's got his claws into a lot of some of the legacy people from Voyager. And you would just have to take it past. You have a technology problem because the technology gets too good. But you'd have to get past Next Generation and just move on. But the thing is, if they have balls, they would say everything Kurtzman Trek, Kelvin. It's all Kelvin timeline. It's all Kelvin. All of it. Even Picard season 3, which I like. Kelvin, boom, gone. And then you start anew. I think that's the only way it works, and I don't think it's going to work. And Paramount could say they're a crown jewel all they want. No young people watch Star Trek, and I can hear the squeals of the non-binary they thems that are all 20 of them out there that are watching fucking Section 31 and Starfleet Academy. Relatively per capita, nobody's fucking watching Star Trek that's young, and nobody cares. You had your chance and you fucking blew it. I like Eastern zombie movies more than Western zombie movies because they have more challenges, because there's no guns. Please, Gary, review Train to Busan. I'll review that. I love that fucking movie. Yeah, I mean, well, for one, they need to mix genres. I think zombies in medieval times, I like that. That shit would be rad. Give me more of that. I'm not a huge fan of zombies. I'm not, because it just gets tired and it becomes a character study of the humans and they're worse than the zombies. And then I start rooting for the zombies and not give a fuck. Now, if it's supernatural zombies, I'm down. You know, like early Game of Thrones, supernatural zombies, down. Hell yeah, Gary. I'm in Daly City. Would be awesome to do a small meetup in San Francisco. Hail the fellowship. Rules 1138 for $5. Daly City. I worked, the shop was very close to Daly City. It's where the In-N-Out is. Recommend visiting the Grand Egyptian Museum, Gary, the world's largest museum for the first time. All the treasures of Tutankhamun are under one roof. Yes, and we will see that. We are going to see that. Thank you. I was at work today and couldn't do this. Here's your weekly Marvel versus DC. Oh my God, Cheshire versus Madam Mask. Oh, your deep cut mother. Hang on. Dude, that's not even fair. That's some pretty evenly matched. I'm going to flip a coin and say Cheshire. That's good. Well done. Basil 578 for $10. It is dangerous times that we live in today. Gone are the days of escaping through entertainment. Hell, we cannot go to the church now without watching our six. That's true. Peace through standing up and not shutting up. Yeah, we can't afford to shut up and relax anymore. And that's the thing is, as I was talking about earlier, okay, you don't want us to be comfortable? Okay, then we'll start activating. We'll start fighting a little fire with fire. And how much are they going to like that? So if you are person later in life, middle age, or you've just got enough money to where you're not working a career and you need something to do, go to that school board, go to that run for city council, run in a local election. Nothing's stopping you. Nothing's stopping you. I second the Red Rising series. Okay, Ivana. I'm feeling peer pressure now, and I will buckle to peer pressure. Arm Slave for $5. They did make a Dresden Files series on Sci-Fi. They did. Bean Counters killed it like Fox killed Firefly with the suicide block late at night. Yep, I watched it all. I liked it too. Don't worry, Gary. No sane person likes the New England area. There you go. It's cold. Tilt for $2. Thank you. Evening, Gary. Angel Studios has been making some better content of late. They have. Do you see them breaking more into the mainstream exposure in the future? Del Eos, I do, because they have massive financial backing from them Mormons. Plus, they have some pretty fucking smart people. I got to, Will and I, Drinker and I, got to sit down and talk with them, and they know what they're doing. And they're not looking to take over Hollywood. They're looking to do their own thing, but they're scooping like films that look pretty good. Like I actually want to go see was it The Senior? I want to see The Senior. It looks pretty interesting. And it's faith-based. It is faith-based stuff. They are owned by Mormons. But their whole thing is we're not going to announce that. And it's not a requirement. I'm sure they have parameters for what kind of film they're going to make, but you don't have to break out in prayer in it. And we saw Sketch, which I liked, by the way, fun little movie. They did it in the belly of the beast on purpose. And when I go to Utah, I want to tour their studio, but absolutely love what they're doing. Love what they're doing. And I think, Homestead, the series, I can't wait for that to start going again. I think they should get into, what was it's not Chosen. Damn it. Sam Winston's in it. God, I can't remember. The trailer looked really fucking good. And it's about a Roman soldier and the time of Jesus and stuff. But I'd love for them to get in some genre. Some genre. Something like, remember that movie The Seventh Seal? Do stuff like that. Do some biblical horror. That would be fucking cool. Biblical horror. I really want you to get on Absolute Batman. It's a great run so far, comparable to the start of Ultimate Spider-Man. So good. Hope the Wonder Woman crossover will be good. Oh, man. If I buy it, it'll be secondhand. I refuse to give money to fuck DC, man. Loved Ultimate Spider-Man. Not mad. I feel the same way. I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic. I've been here for 15 years and still not used to the cold. Yeah, Samuel Perez, I am just not down with the cold, and it sucks because we now own a house in Wisconsin, and I ain't fucking going there in the winter. I did that last year and experienced 20 below for the first time in my life, and I'm like, fuck this shit, I'm out. No way. Give me 114. I can handle that. I think the best way to see semi-decanonized Kurtzman trick is to keep people happy. Pull a Battletech. It was a holo novel series in the universe. It's something. Pull a Dallas, arm slave. The people who would complain are insignificant. The amount of old fans you would get back that could possibly create new fans, that's the only chance you have. Because what you're doing is you're pissing off people like me, like Robert Meyer Burnett, like Dave Cullen. And I don't think I'm speaking out of turn, but Dave Cullen, Robert Meyer Burnett, yours truly are the kind of guys who would buy Star Trek novels, Star Trek comics, watch all the shows, get a ship here and there, some action figures, buy some blueprints, tech guides. Those are the fans you want, not the ones that are sitting around flicking their beans or whatever the fuck they have, picking out which members they want to have fucking sex with as they pirate the show because they can't afford it. What they've done is they've driven away all the real fucking fans who don't want to ship everybody. We want to see ships. We want to see ships in battle because we love our ship porn. We're not shipping our fucking characters. Star Trek is not fucking Buffy, and it's not a fucking musical. It's a thought-provoking, serialized piece of work that occasionally tells an allegory or a morality tale. And it really does come at it at both sides and treats both sides with respect. And sometimes it ends with letting the viewer decide for themselves and doesn't bash the viewer over the head. But no, they didn't want us around anymore. You think any Kurtzman Trek fans are going to spend $6,000 on a Star Trek Discovery that looks like an oversized fucking pizza cutter? Yeah, it was a Ralph McQuarrie design. You know why they rejected it? Because it looked like shit. Terry Metallis's Enterprise G was fucking awesome. I love that. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. It's you see Robert out there, and Robert gets downright fucking based when it comes to Star Trek. Not a MAGA guy, Robert Meyer Burnett. Love him to death, by the way. Consider him a friend. He'll talk to anybody. He treats you with respect. He's a good guy. He's a good human being. You might not like some of his political takes, but know that the man has a good heart. And is really a true blue nerd and knows his fucking shit. Knows his shit. Yeah, it's sad seeing his frustration with Star Trek because it's mine, but he feels about Star Trek the way I feel about Lord of the Rings. Like Star Trek, I like Star Trek more than I like Star Wars. I do. But I like Doctor Who more than I like Star Trek. Not by much. It's a pubic hair. It's a bad analogy, but yeah. The name of the story I'm creating is called Infinite Field. I was planning on doing a book or movie. Then I said, screw it. Video game is it. Yeah, that's the future. And if you're making it, that sounds like way more fun to make, to be honest with you. And something you could actually kind of make on your own a little bit. I thought you know shit about making a game. Hollow Ninja, good luck to you. Go make something. Be creative. It's good for your soul. Hey, Gary, I just watched a little bit of The Little Platoon ripping apart James Gunn's James Gunn. Brandon, I watched 3.5 hours of it. It was phenomenal. His best work. Absolutely phenomenal. As a matter of fact, I'll share it on Twitter tonight. Accident seller for 50 Norwegian krona. Gary, my fellow programmer, the Saudi Arabians and Jared Kushner buying Electronic Arts might be as influential as Elon buying X. No LGBTQ slop anymore. That's what I heard. And it's Saudi Arabian and Jewish owned, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I heard today. Bringing people together. Not against that. That's great to hear. Who's worse, Kurtzman or RTD? I'm going to say, RTD, because he was something Kurtzman never was. Good. Now, it's become very clear that Stephen Moffat was pretty instrumental in that first run, and RTV took all the credit when Stephen Moffat was there fixing shit. So he had a lot. RTD's worse because he came back to the thing that he brought back only to deliberately destroy it and use it as a platform. Kurtzman was never good. He usurped Star Trek from Brian Fuller, which I guarantee would have been better. It would have been more compelling if Brian Fuller, who's famously difficult to work with. But RTD, but not by much. If you were in charge of the DCU, how would you start it? What would be your chapter 1? Shlomi Leiner, Superman. No other superheroes. Superman. You set up the Superman mythology and you set up the past mythology of the DCU through some minor world building. Superman, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Perry White, Lex Luthor. Fortress of Solitude. I like Crypto. Don't start with Crypto. I'm fine with not doing the origin. I'm fine with him being established. No other superheroes. And you literally have Lex Luthor building giant fucking robots to kill Superman or something like that. I would go very Max Fleischer, except he would be able to fly. Make a good Superman movie, set up that world, and then we can make sure that's a success, and then we'll go from there. Number 2 would be Batman. Number 3 would be Wonder Woman. And then you could do maybe a team up movie. I know maybe people are thinking Green Arrow, Green Lantern, maybe Green Lantern, Flash, something to that effect. Get your Justice League going. Definitely introduce Darkseid. That's going to be your big bad. But really basic order. Don't get fancy. Don't get edgy. Don't jump to not even the middle. James Gunn is jumping to the hipster era of comics, the mid 2000s, 2010s, the Grant Morrison stuff, which I like, but that's not anything you start with. The Grant Morrison era and the era of DC in the early 2000s, which was good, right, is the result of years and years of evolution. It's not the thing you start with. It's the thing you go to, but it's not the thing you start with. You know what I wouldn't do? Have a Superman movie where the most memorable scene doesn't have Superman in it. But I'd want to make a movie that Superman fans, it brings a little tear to your eye. And it would be filled with him in impossible situations, saving people. How does Superman fight Lex Luthor? Lex Luthor wreaks havoc. Superman saving a school bus full of kids on a bridge that's falling apart while still saving the worker, and a woman's falling off a building and he can hear it, and he's got to make this impossible choice, and he just fucking pulls it off because he's Superman. That's the kind of shit you want to see Superman do. Not saving a fucking squirrel. Doing the impossible. Being super. Being inspirational. A carousel in hell is fueled by leftist intentions. It is, Jason. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Thank you for the $2. Big Ounce for 10. Says, Gary, I'll bully you into reading Absolute Batman, maybe Wonder Woman. The arc they are running with Bane is good shit. Honestly, I might say he's better than the original Bane. Hot take. Don't tell Graham you said that. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the art. That's not necessarily going to stop me from reading a story. I've read a lot of good stories where the art was like, meh, you know. Thoughts on Demon Slayer Infinity Castle discussion. It's made a lot of money. I haven't seen it, probably won't. But I'm very happy that it's kicking the shit out of everything, and maybe that changes Hollywood. Star Trek is dead. Need Captain Kirk to come back from the grave and kick Picard's ass. Kirk asked Picard, do you know what I have lost to boldly go where no man has gone before? I'm not apologizing for crap. Hail, brother. Flint Ironstag for $20. Hey, Gary, what's your view on pulp comic radio show The Shadow? My dad lived as a kid and introduced it to me. I really like it. Do you think Batman mildly ripped it off? There's definitely similarities. I love The Shadow. I own many of the different iterations of the radio show on disc, on cassette, and MP3. I think he's one of the coolest fucking superheroes. And definitely Batman borrowed from The Shadow, if not outright ripped it off. I still have Batman, but Batman ripped it off. Bob Kane ripped off a lot of shit, by the way. Yeah, me and my kid listen to the radio shows when we're on long drives. It's good shit. I wish there was there needs to be a pulp comeback, but it has to be proper pulp. Modern Hollywood would make a Shadow movie that looks like modern day America, where Shadow's boss would be a black female. And the girl he's helping would be a black female. Yeah, it'd be stupid. It'd be stupid. Gay black female, lesbian. You know what I'm saying? Albert, not a retro for 10 Canadian pesos. Send an email about what I would do with the DCU. I will check it out. Alex Belfour, what would you do 10 Nights of the Beast in the DCU? Would you do 10 Nights of the Beast in the DCU? In the DCU? Eventually, yeah. Hell yeah. Hail Gary, I have Marvel Unlimited. Any Cyclops and Wolverine focused X-Men runs recommendations? Yeah, definitely. Well, nothing modern at all. So start with giant size X-Men, then you go into X-Men 94 and up. And then you start getting into the Claremont Cockrum run. And then it goes into the Byrne run. Cyclops was pretty badass for all the way through the 90s, up until the 90s. Then they fucking started cucking his ass. Wolverine, you can do a solo series. I absolutely highly recommend over anything is Frank Miller's limited series. I remember buying that off the shelf and it was like, blew my mind. Southeastern Kaiju, thanks for the night stream. You're welcome. You are welcome. Do you think Batman could actually dodge an Omega beam? Rebellion 765. Well, I mean, he has. Well, no. I haven't seen every DC animated thing. Superman moved him before he. I think if any human could, it would be Batman. Yes. Yes. The qualifier for everything Batman, does he have time to prepare? Because yes. Brett Lifers for $20. Hey Gary, today I turned 45. It was such a normal day. I barely remembered it was my birthday. It's the way it goes when you get older. Anyway, glad to spend the night with some Nerdrotic. And we'll finish off with more Star Trek TNG, currently on season 5. Cheers. Yeah, Star Trek TNG just turned 38, right? It's almost at its 40-year anniversary. Jesus Christ. Sorry, Father. I'm trying to snack in between here so I don't die of I'm going to die of starvation. Excuse me. Happy birthday. Wisconsin meetup anytime in the future. Yes. There's actually a brewery up there that had opened the doors to us, and we'll do it again. Probably Milwaukee. I'm kind of close to Sheboygan, but we can do Milwaukee. Asombrada Noite for $4.99. I'm Mormon. Thanks for giving us respect, even when you disagree with us, when many have hated and demonized us lately. Yeah, holy shit. Sorry. No, I've got no problem with the Mormons at all. I hang out with one every Friday. We had Shad on, and he talked a lot about it on Forbidden Frontier. If you want to look at that episode, it's a really good episode. Really good episode. Let's get to the BBC stuff, shall we? God, we're gonna have to do a part 3 today. Look at that. Oh, look at you. I gave Platoon a compliment on his video, which I thought was just fantastic. Looks like Asmongold is coming back. What's a subathon? He's doing a subathon. I don't even know what that is. One of the greatest movie poster. Oh no, the guy who did the Conan movie poster passed away. Holy shit. R.I.P. One of the greatest movie posters of all time. Where was I? Hang on. I know what I'm doing. No, I don't. Why would I lie to you guys like that? That's not even fair. It's not even cool. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just searching for X-Ray Girl. There we go. She's got my little spreadsheet. She's got my spreadsheet. Okay, so this is from earlier today. I got to remember where I left off. Mormon. We left off at Mormons, and we respect my father's here. He's not going to disrespect you. He's not going to go, fuck a Mormon. Just kidding, father. No, hell no. No. A lot of my friends, Mormon, and you know what? I think everybody should be able to be roasted equally, but low-hanging fruit for Hollywood has been Mormon and Christian. And just on that principle alone, I want to defend you. Like, I just want to defend you because, like, you get fucked with so fucking much. So something in I don't know, the asshole in me, the contrarian, the rebel in me just wants to go, wait a minute. I know a lot of Mormons and Christians. They're really fucking cool. So fuck you guys. And like, again, if they distributed their criticism equally to Muslim, to Jewish, they're going after Jewish right now, and any other, that's fine. But you know, I knew some Sikhs in San Francisco, cool as fuck. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Just because I'm not an atheist, by the way. I'm not an atheist at all. At all. I believe in a higher power. Just not a church-going guy. All right, here we go. Tile Makos for 117. For the first time, I'm reading the first book of the Thrawn trilogy, and I feel enraged because they never adapted it, and sometimes I don't want to read them. Yeah. You really... I remember doing a podcast. This was back in the Dennis days of the Nerdrotic podcast, which I don't even think we were called Nerdrotic at the time. It was 2015. I remember when Kathleen Kennedy canceled the EU, and like that was the first sign of like, because before that it's like, oh man, can't wait to see what they do for Star Wars. I can't fucking wait to see what Disney and Kathleen Kennedy. Remember those days? Oh boy. Sweet summer child. But it's like, man, I can't wait. And it's like, they did what? They canceled the EU? Why? That was your IP farm. That was your story farm. You really didn't you didn't need story groups. You know what you could do is talk to the writers of those books, find some good screenwriters, and you could have just farmed those things for fucking ever. But instead, you went out and found this woke ass story group who doesn't know shit about shit. And it's unbelievable. That was the first sign. And I never thought it would get this bad. I never thought I'd hate Star Wars. Like when I hear this Star Wars, I go, ugh, I just roll my eyes. It's like, you fucking kidding me? You know how much joy that brought all of us for so long? I got my Bantha tracks in the mail from the Star Wars fan club. I'm like, oh my God. And I just read it over and over. And now I'm like, ugh, Star Wars. What a joke. As finally watched Solo Leveling. I'll be sure to pass it on. Not to upset you any further, but what does Campia think? Who cares? It's representation for Gary in the GCU. Says Dakota. Oh, the name Gary. There you go. Kenro 20 for $20 says, hola, love people. I always wanted to say I loved watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy viewing party with Gary and the EFAP crew. My appreciation for the films grew because of it. Thanks. They really don't make them like that anymore. They really don't. That was a fun EFAP. Dark Ray was the first to use lightsaber scissors. You're right, Snacks, for $2. Mandu and Grogu is going to make Star Trek Generations look like Citizen Kane in comparison. Both are just extended episodes, but at least Generations features characters from TNG that we all know and love. That's true. That's true, Natram. Alucard for $5. I'm not Gary no more. I am delivered. I like extra girls. X-ray girl, X-ray girl, X-ray girl. I can't say that. That's she works for me. But that's what Alucard is saying, not me. Not me. Not me. Give me a moment. Gotta eat. Good. Okay. I read Sigourney practiced parkour for Avatar 2 Super Mario water stage film. Won't pay to go see it. I'd pay to see Sigourney at 70 parkouring. I wouldn't. But I'm more mad at Sigourney for like the shit job she did in The Defenders. Oh, what the fuck were they thinking? Those are early days of like, of intersectional feminism and the elderly grandma supervillain. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Krog based for 50 Swedish krona says Alien Earth. Earth is an anagram. Ever annoying, retarded tripe haphazardly. There you go. Marie UK for 2 British pounds. They need to stop pushing Billy Piper. I don't think they're going to. We haven't heard a thing about Doctor Who because my theory is Disney shut him out a long time ago, but they're willing to keep it under wraps so people will still watch it because the show's still fairly new, right? And they'll make a decision later. Disney doesn't like making canceling decisions at all. Can't wait till you start your political channel, Gary, so you can invite Adam Carolla to shit on Gavin Newsom. Oh, dude, I'll do that on Nerdrotic, Carlos. Calling it now. HBO will focus more on what name is that? Merup's abuse. Oh, okay. And we'll gloss over her raping. Okay, so Voldemort. Okay, gotcha. Voldemort's mom, who basically raped somebody. Sorry, trying to eat and do the same time. Not working. Thank you, Linebecken. Zodlander for 50 Swedish krona. How can they explain Don changing actor in a respectful way to Michelle Trachtenberg? I don't think a recast will work. Is off-screen death worse? They're going to have to explain it somehow. That's going to be, it'll be interesting. The fact that the Buffy show's only getting a pilot tells me it doesn't have that much of a chance. It doesn't have that much of a chance. Otherwise, Mueller said it today that they would have given, this is Buffy. It's got a fan base. And they only got a fucking pilot. I don't know if it makes it. I hope they release it though. God, I hope they release it. What karaoke song that you play on oh, you mean this one? It's a Crying Game. Easy Money. That's the Crying Game. It's Az's theme song. Japanese Demon Lord for $5. Why don't they include anime with the Nielsen rating? I'm guessing because it would humiliate Hollywood too much. It depends on. Okay, so anime is on Crunchyroll. I guess it depends on where it is. But it would, if it's on a streaming service or even a sublet of a streaming service, it would show up. Now, if you're talking about like how much people watch it in Japan or something like that, I don't know. But K-pop Demon Hunters was #1 on the overall chart, like by a lot. Although I know that's not an I know it's not an anime. I'm gonna say what we're all thinking here. Christy Swanson was hotter Buffy than Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean, she was. That's true. I like Sarah Michelle Gellar, but if you're putting the two together and saying who's hotter, it's fucking Christy Swanson. They need to continue Firefly with all the same cast. And Joss Whedon. Love to see Mahler spend time with his two gay dads. Take care, gents, says Sam Schroeder for $5. Yeah. Hero of Canton for $2. Laser was to point out agitators, not a sniper. Yeah. We must show them our peaceful ways by force, says Big T for $1.99. The runaway rebel mom in One Battle After Another sounds like a story of Asada Shakur, the Nobel winner who shot the New Jersey cop and escaped to Cuba. Yes, I think it is based on her. I think it is. I remember hearing that. Chris Gore is bigger than LA Comic-Con. Fuck him. I mean, LA Comic-Con's going to die. It's probably it's waning now. Dante and Anna said it wasn't that crowded. They didn't have any really big panels. The problem is there's too many cons now, and the market is getting saturated. And quite frankly, Fan Expo does a better job. Fan Expo, no offense, Fan Expo, but you're like a celebrity petting zoo. But there's still plenty of comic books there. Plenty. Like MegaCon, a lot of comic books. And the thing that MegaCon has a little bit over San Diego is it's still a little cheap. Like San Diego's way more expensive than MegaCon to get a panel, to get a booth. So the profitability is better, which means you get better deals. Personally, though, I go to the little cons, the little county cons at your Scottish Rite Center. That's where you get the best deals. But LA Comic-Con, it's in a shitty part of all of it. LA is a shitty part of town. The parking sucks, and it's in fucking LA. And it's not like if you're going to stay near the con, you can't stay near that con. You can't. And that's why you can never have what San Diego has over absolutely everybody is it's a city that it's a tourist city that isn't a hellhole. So no offense, New Orleans. It's not based on like getting fucking high or getting drunk. It's about families going to the beach. So it's a very clean, or was a very clean city. And all the hotels are right up on that convention center. Plus there's a relatively clean downtown comparatively to most American cities. That's why it works. Plus you have access to the beach and so many other things, but you don't have some big theme park or something competing with it. So you're not competing with actual dollars, right? The reason San Diego will not, Comic-Con will not work in Vegas, and it won't necessarily work if they move it to Florida. MegaCon works, but you're also competing dollars there. You're going to a con and you're going to Disneyland. That's fucking expensive weekend. Or not Disney World, but Universal. That's a fucking expensive weekend. Where San Diego Comic-Con, you just go to Comic-Con. That's it. So that's why it's always worked. And it won't work anywhere else. I know John Campia is like, it should be in Vegas. Fucking Canadian, shut your fucking hole. You don't know what you're talking about. If it goes to Vegas, it will work and it will get more stars, but it'll get less actual people, and it will be just as expensive, if not more expensive, than San Diego. And you're in competition with casinos and so many other things to do. When San Diego's kind of a boring town, unless you fucking go to the beach or golf. I am starting late. Thank God the real BBC is on its proper channel with its proper song and not the gay one on the other guy's channel. Well, he is gay. I mean, we got to stay in brand. If you wanted to watch PTA do an absurdist movie, watch Inherent Vice instead. At least then you get the ridiculousness of Josh Brolin in that. PTA, he's a really good director. He is. He's a very good director. But there's something, for me anyway, that he's never captured, even since Boogie Nights. There's a tightness to Boogie Nights, and there's an engagement to Boogie Nights that's there will be blood, yeah, but yeah, I don't get the worship for him, the cinematic worship that he gets. I do. I get it. He's very fucking LA hipsterish. It's very LA, very that scene. He plays to his people. He plays to his base. I get that part. I'm not his base. I know some people don't like Quentin Tarantino, right? I fucking love Quentin Tarantino. I love his personality. I love most of his movies. Needs an editor. But his movies got swagger that the PTA movies lack. I love Wes Anderson films. They're fucking human cartoons. They are absolutely bizarre. I love them. PTA to me is just kind of boring. It might be sacrilege to say that, but I'm not a cinephile. I'm not I didn't study I didn't go to art history and the history of cinema, and I didn't go to film school and pay $100,000 so I can talk like this and say I went to film school. Just watched a lot of movies, mostly genre. Why do these people dislike the Saudis but kneel at the altar of the Palestinians? They follow the teachings of the same nonce. They can't make. They're all full of shit. That's the answer. They're all a bunch of fucking phonies, and it's particularly bad with comedians. In the hierarchy of entertainment, of, we'll just say, musicians, actors, comedians. Comedians are the craziest, the most backstabby, the most gossipy, and the most neurotic out of fucking all of them. It's not even fucking close. Not even fucking close. And I've got some friends who are comedians, but that fucking scene is a mess. They're fucking insecure. Despite doing stand-up, which is like the ballsiest thing you can do, they're fucking insecure. Jealous as fuck. Always looking over their buddy's shoulder. You're stealing my jokes. You're doing my bit. Being in that scene would be fucking miserable. And that was just being friends with them. Being friends with some. Just cut one loose recently. He can go fuck off. Because he started arguing with my wife about because he celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk. He started fucking arguing with my wife. So go fuck yourself, piece of shit. But yeah, that's they're just backstabby, insecure, and so many of them flame out, and they call themselves comedians when they're actually fucking male flight attendant for fucking Southwest. That's what you are. You're not a comedian. You're a male flight attendant for Southwest. And hey, I'm not shaming you for it, but don't run around. But don't put comedian in your bio when you pay your bills being a male flight attendant for Southwest. But yeah, comedians. Are you utterly shocked that they're complete phonies, two-faced, a lot of them on fucking drugs, neurotic as hell, can't maintain a single fucking relationship? Comedians. Yeah, I've had bad experiences. It's really bad. Worst fucking friends in the world. Absolutely the fucking worst. If Cross can say if Cross can say this about comedians performing in another country, then he should say the same about Metallica when they performed in Russia. Yep. I personally don't really give a shit. Like, Dave Chappelle's in Saudi Arabia. You know, Dave Chappelle's like, I'll take your fucking money. Yes. Hey Gary, my dumbass missed your signed edition book. Will you be doing any more in the future? If not, all good. Congrats on your success. You're a legend. Oh, I'm not. Thank you, man. Jamie, I'll be signing books at cons if you're there. $14.99. Thank you very much. E-Dog for $9.99. Sorry if y'all been asking this question already. Was wondering if you guys also hyped up One Punch Man season 3, maybe Mahler in particular. A lot of people like it. You can hype it up though. E-Dog. Hero of Canton for $2 says, how are they going to hang Snape in the tree now? I don't know. Jimmy the Singing Drummer says, Gary, thanks for saying on the show that Tulsa King is great. I just finished the first season, and yeah, it is. Sly is amazing. Happy Jessica. Yeah, I gotta say, I gotta be real with you guys. I love the show, and I don't hate the season so far, but that last episode, the premiere, there's something different about the writing this year. It's not as tight. They kind of they really abandon a couple of storylines pretty quickly, and then quickly introduced a character who we're supposed to be super familiar with to set up everything from the season. So it's not, Robert Patrick is great. I like how the episode ended, but there's something that's not feeling as tight as season 1 and 2. I hope it gets worked out. I really do. Just got to be real. Got to be real. I don't know what you guys think. That was just my observation. Terminalist Dark Wolf, not as good as Terminalist, but good. But good. The best part of Moonraker is that they give the champagne scene with the girl to Jaws at the end. Casino Royale, James Bourne, not James Bond. That's true. Listen, I like the gimmicky. I grew up in the Roger Moore era. Okay. Thank you, Mad Cow Barbecue. Thank you for the $10. I grew up in the Roger Moore era, so I'm fine with some silly Bond. I definitely didn't appreciate Pierce Brosnan at the time as much as I do now. He was great. Hollywood hates DS. A woman loses another, fawns over a man who saves her, and big time cantaloupes displayed while looking at a strong man to marry. Says John Gets Gaming. We missed titties. That's what I got out of that. Gary, I thought it was hardly organized. It's not organized at all. Like, hardly would suggest that I'm kind of organized. Avatar, Zootopia, and Wicked will outgrow Superman, says Bruno Corbella for €2. I keep forgetting about Zootopia too because I'm not a furry, but you're right. So as it stands right now, Superman is the 7th highest grossing movie of the year. So it'll get drumped. Oh, so it might go down to 11. It could very well go down to 11, 10 or 11. We'll see. Grab him by the pee distance killed me, says Jimbit. Yeah. Touching distance. That was a weird thing to say. And other news, DSP called Low Tier God a slave day. Really? A slave? DSP will outlive us all. John Gets Gaming. Surely this will show Hollywood that traditional values in the second and 2D animation win the box office, or they'll make LA remake with Zendaya playing Les Mitsuri. 2D animation will come back when AI makes it a lot easier to make. My son asks me about that all the time. He's like, my son asks me random questions because he's a fucking nerd. And he's like, wouldn't you like to see a Ralph Bakshi, A Song of Ice and Fire? And I'm like, yes, I would. Wouldn't you like to see a Ralph Bakshi Elric? Yes, I would, son. AI will make that happen someday. There almost was a Ralph Bakshi Elric, by the way. Not Eric K, but Elric. Robert Hayes for $4.99. Hi, chat. You should have a laugh at Al Fox's Star Wars rap battle AI video. I'll have to check it out. Jegson Voorhees for $5. Gary, Literature Devil has a comic called Lady Midnight on Indiegogo. There's 37 days to go, and he needs some help getting attention to support it. Go check out Literature Devil's Lady Midnight on Indiegogo. Go check it out. Heard Indiegogo's shadow banning people. Is that true? Might want to think about going back to Kickstarter. I can't remember for the life of me why people abandoned Kickstarter because of that commie content curator cunt they had, but she's gone. And I've supported 2 or 3 Kickstarters since then, no problem. I got a couple of buddies who've used Kickstarter. They're not having any problem. Yeah, I would just go to Kickstarter. I think you have a better chance of, especially with the shadow banning going on, I think you just have a better chance going to Kickstarter. You get more seen. Maybe you should try that. Dawnbreaker for $5. Gay Pop Demon Hunters has been watched 236 million times on Netflix. Jesus Christ. Yikes. It's Brendan Gleeson raping by As Distance. Okay. Touching Distance starring Pedro Pascal. So there was an article and they said that Demon Slayer was in touching distance of Superman. And I'm like, and Az is like, yeah, it's a total say. That's a saying, man. And I'm like, no, it's not. I've never fucking heard that in my life. Touching distance. As Mahler brought up, within arm's reach. Okay. Touching distance. So we just started saying, groping distance and grab her by the pussy distance, all these crude, horrible things that Father Christopher Miller has to suffer in our live streams and the 5 or 6 ladies who are there, which I apologize. I'm not going to stop, but I apologize. Tanjiro slayed Superman. 2 more movies to go. The Elder Wand is literally perfection. It will be when it's wielded by a woman. Dum Dum Tom Marvolo riddles a woman. Oh, Gary, watch Attack on Titan with your son. You're welcome. I think he's seen it. Mexi Rage, Superman, more like slightly above average man. Can't wait to see the amount of hate Platoon is going to get on Super. It's pretty brutal, dude. It is pretty brutal. Thank you for the $5. Dawnbreaker for 10. I'd say K-pop Demon Hunters is way more popular than Superman. Oh, by a long shot. As well as it might not have made as much money, but it's been talked about and praised more than Superman. The only thing that's kept, nobody's talked about the fucking movie. So if you want an observation about Superman, nobody has talked about the movie outside of Mr. Terrific scene. The most conversation was about how James Gunn fucked over Jor-El, but nobody's going, man, do you remember that scene where he saved that girl in front of the pipes? And then if you think about it for 2 seconds, why wasn't she running for her life? Because there was a giant kaiju like 10 feet away from her. Why was she just kicking her? Platoon brings it up, by the way. Nobody's talking about the movie. They're just talking about the box office, how much of a success and merch and merchandising and all this other shit, but they're not discussing the film. The real BBC recorded in front of a live studio audience. You're right. Kind of. Mika for $5 says, hail BBC, I'm alone in the office so I can listen to you guys without headphones. Oh, that's good. Fuck. Sorry. Speaking of stolen land, read Not Stolen by Jeff Flynn Paul. It's not stolen. It's conquered. Conquered. It's not like we snuck in the house and took Louisiana out of your, out of your dresser, it's called Conquered. It's how things work. Okay, let's give it back to who? And do we give it back in the condition we found it, not in the condition we made it? Nope. And our job is to not get conquered. That's how it works. Campia truly thinks every mediocre film from a major studio is great. RMB has my utmost respect for still working with him. Love you guys. Well, he needs them. I'll say it. He needs them. His show is shit without Robert. I mean, Robert is the show. Robert is the brains of the show. Campia, I give him a lot of shit. Campia is a normie. Is 100% milquetoast normie, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for him to think he has some major insight into film making, trust fund kid, no, his audience skews way younger. It's like it's the Marvel and DC rumor audience, old Collider audience. And like, if you like him, that's great. Like we all share audience, right? And he absolutely deserves his place here. And he puts together a pretty good studio. He's a pretty good host. His voice isn't for me, and I'm sure he hates every fucking molecule of my body. I don't really care. But yeah, he doesn't have a very good broadcast voice. Now, Rob has a good broadcast voice. So if you're just listening to John Campea on a podcast, that screechy those little fucking high whiny shit things he do, that would drive me up the fucking wall. But I do tune in to listen to Robert. Not the other guys. I got nothing against them. They're fine. They don't have a lot of input in there, but he gets a decent crowd. He used to get bigger crowds because I think he quit too much. Another thing, since we're on the subject Campea, and I'm just full of unsolicited advice for him. He'll do his stream and then he'll release clips, which normally is really fucking smart, except he releases them all at once like a fucking retard. It's like, spread it out, bro. Like every 2 hours. And I don't know why I'm giving him advice. It's going to help him, but that'll help your subs grow. But you're fucking dropping them all at once. It's terrible for the algorithm. It's terrible for your channel, and nobody wants to sit through that. So you get like 5 or 6 clips. You just wait 2 hours, 3 hours, and then release them. He won't listen to me. And why should he? What the fuck do I know? I'm no John Campea. Naked Goose for 14 Zardazes says James Hassan Bond. Hussein Bond. James Hussein Bond. Mad Dog for $1.99. Trailer out for new Vince Gilligan show, Pluribus. I'm going to check it out, Mad Dog. We need more people like him making animated movies. His philosophy is kids can handle anything as long as there's a happy ending. As far as anime, yes, they need to, if you're talking about like dumbing stuff down for kids, they need to stop doing that. Absolutely stop doing it. You remember the Rankin Bass Hobbit show, right? They used to show that on ABC. They used to show that on prime time. And I was very young. That was my first experience with Lord of the Rings, was that Hobbit cartoon from Rankin Bass. And I remember seeing it when I was like 5 or 6. And I remember seeing Gollum and feeling really sorry for him, that fat bastard fucking stole his ring and he was crying. He's like, no. And I'm like, what an asshole. So I was on Gollum's side when I was like 5 or 6. But that was creepy. It was creepy for a 5 and 6-year-old. Don't dumb it down. What are your favorite bands and why is it Tool? I like Tool, Alex, for $2. I've seen Tool live 10 times. Maynard. It's not my favorite band, but I'm 56. I don't know if I have a favorite band. My favorite musical artist of all time is Johnny Cash. the most rock and roll, punk rock, badass motherfucker in music was Johnny fucking Cash. But I went through periods of favorite bands. I had lots of favorite bands. I don't think I have one now because I just listen to old music. I used to be as into music as I am comic books or movies or anything. I worked in music stores. That was a long time ago. Long time ago. Extra early, but still gay. Well, not tonight, but yeah. Hale, although I do agree with keeping Hollywood work in the US, do you guys think it will make a lot more difficult for indie films on a budget? Well, it depends on where you're shooting, but yeah, like shooting in California is going to be a pain in the ass. But maybe Texas is throwing out a lot of talk about, cutting taxes, but they need to do more. Cody, who was in there, we had a nice long talk with Cody about a lot of this a couple times. He's probably somebody they should listen to, and they won't, Malachi Gallagher for £2 Mark Miller, Pierce Bronson, a perfect match. Yes, it's eventually, listen, you're hearing it here first. It's going to happen. I don't know if we're waiting for names to be signed on the dotted line, but and the rumor's been out there for a long time that Pierce is going to come in and do King of Spies. It's just a matter of getting the scheduling going. I thought it would be announced earlier in the year, and it's not, but it's going to fucking happen. Andrew McCarty for $4.99. Lord of the Rings movies or books, which is better and why? Explain each movie. What does the characters better than the setting and the fights? Okay, wow, Andrew McCarty. I can't answer all that, but I'll give you one. Boromir's death is better in the movie than it is in the books, but the books are better than the movies. By orders of magnitude, they are better than the movies. But if you want to ask me, like, what's something in the movie, I do a couple things in the movie that are better in the books, but definitely Boromir's death is better in the movie. I will say it. I will fucking say it. Faramir is kind of the most fucked in the movie. Theoden, he's pretty fucking good in the books. But goddamn, fucking Theoden, Bernard, dude, Theoden's so great in the movies. But I will say my favorite Lord of the Rings movie, if I have to pick three, is The Two Towers. My favorite book is Fellowship. If I have to pick a favorite, which I read them all. It's not like I just read one. Love Two Towers. As a matter of fact, Two Towers is, you can't see it, but there's a screen right now playing Two Towers. And over there, I think it's Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince. Worst movie. Éowyn and Faramir are better in the books. But Éowyn's not bad in the movie. She's good in the movie. But Theoden, could you argue that Theoden is better than the movies? No, Frodo and Samwise are better in the books. They are. Frodo is hard in the books. But I mean, the books are better. It's a better experience because they're far more romantic, and Tolkien's use of language, his world building, his subtle world building, it is it is from a time when people really thought out the letters they wrote. And let's keep in mind that first run through, the guy wrote the book by hand in his spare time from his job. Oh, and he took a large break. This is all in the new edition. Well, new edition for Lord of the Rings. He talks about it in his preface, but he wrote some of it during World War II and then had to take a few years off, then revisited it. Tells you exactly where he started and stopped and why, and then hand wrote it and then had to type it. He didn't have enough money to pay somebody to type his book, so he had to type, because he said, I don't have enough money for a 10-finger typer, so he had to do that's how he typed his book, because Tolkien didn't have the fucking money. Professor at Oxford, did this in his spare time, wrote a lot of it to send to his son Christopher, who was part of the Royal Air Force. Yeah. And then you see that fat fucking LARPing piece of shit George R. Martin going, I can't write because I have too many distractions and wild cards, and let's talk about the Giants and let's talk about the Jets. I'm going to buy a choo-choo train. Fucker doesn't have any kids. Good, because he wouldn't pay attention to them. But he's got no legacy to leave. You know, George R. Martin talked about, like, it's really difficult to write Bran. Maybe if you had some kids, it'd be easier. But yeah, it's difficult to write Bran because you've never really been around kids, ever. Your entire fat fucking life. Maybe you shouldn't have wrote a kid. But yeah, you hear George, and it's like, motherfucking Tolkien wrote that shit by fucking hand at night after his full-time job. Oh, and then developed entire languages. It's all centered around languages. Don't get me started. If you did an epic mythical medieval fantasy book and did a sequel set 300 years later, what would the tech be like? Arcane tech filled with magic? Wow, Andrew McCarty, I've actually thought about that. It's how do you I'm a big fan of cross genres. So I've talked about, like, there's a story been rolling in my head for multiple years, and it is definitely cross genres. And it is essentially universal horror, superhero, epic fantasy, sci-fi. How do you do and I love the fusion of technology and magic. How would I do it? I think the one thing George does very well, and actually Tolkien does this too, is you just don't have flim-flammy magic. Like, I like Harry Potter, and there's set rules, but there's a lot of magic. Magic has a price. Magic has consequences. Magic is art. You know what's great and bright is most humans can't pick up a magic. The magic wand is this deadly, scary thing that everybody wants, but if you touch it, you'll blow up. And it's like there's shit dripping off it. It was really cool how they do that. That's how I do it. You know what? The best way, think Babylon 5, Techno Mage. Techno mages were awesome. I am a penis man, says Blankface. Thank you. Whiskey Dick. Hail. Although I do agree with Oh, I read that one already. Okay. So we're good there. We'll get back to you guys. How are we doing? 2 hours, 14 minutes. And I left off with the Mormons. Hello, Mormons. You're welcome here, by the way. Hang on. There we go. My comic book run from 1962 to 1970 had back issues then from the 50s. That's a great run. That's pretty much all I collect now. I don't collect. It's rare if I collect anything before or after 2000, but mostly I collect Bronze Age stuff now. Thank you for your respect, Gary. Thank you, Vent, for your respect. I appreciate it. Oi, check out Doctor Who parody sketch loaded from YouTube. Spine Milligan. It's from old Brit comedy. It's about 2 minutes and 10 seconds of crying tears of laughter. Always the best. We'll see if we have time for that. Let's see. God dang it. Oh, it just popped. Little Platoon's video just popped up. Spine Milligan. Doctor Who. I am. Pakistani Daleks. Is that what we're talking about? I'd have to pre-screen that, but maybe in the future. Thank you. Cheers. Aided Clock for $5. Hey, Gary, do you have any preferred spot to read your comics? I like reading my manga on camping trips. I do. I have a pretty badass living room, right? I'm not, I don't want to brag, but a little, because I got a badass house that my wife and I worked both all our lives for, to be able to afford it. You know, we basically cashed in on California because we owned a little matchbox in California. Someday I'll show you guys how big my fucking house was in California, because it was not big. It was 1,200 square feet with 2 kids. So a glorified apartment that cost a lot of fucking money. So we sold that and we got a big house, a big fucking awesome house in Texas. So we have this living room with 25-foot ceilings. We call it the Great Hall. So I sit down on my comfy chair next to the fireplace that's only used for about a week a year because it's Texas. And I've got my vape. And I sit there and I read my funny books, or I read my book. That's my reading area. That's my favorite place. That is my favorite place. Back in the old days, I used to, when I had the shop and I had to read 10 comics a day minimum. I just read them before bed. Trying to get to San Antonio for SpaceCon. Any idea of an official meetup? I think we're just going to do something in the con. So I'll be at the Rippaverse table and I'll be doing a panel. If we do something impromptu, we're like, hey, we're going to meet at this restaurant or something like that, I'll let you guys know, because we've done that before, Cash. But Cash, dude, just make it down. You can hang. You can hang. You're more than welcome to hang. For ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, Cash Kester is an old timer. Been around at the first fucking meetup. Been around this channel for a long fucking time. So he's smoking, man. He was memed to hell about 3 years ago, and it was great. He's also a Chiefs fan, so don't hold that against him. But Cash, I'll see you there. We'll hang. You can hang with us, brother. Showed my wife your Marin white liberal woman rant, and she laughed super hard. We lived there for years, but now we're in Wisconsin in Fox Valley. Hail, Alex. Yeah, I go on the Marin white woman rant because, I mean, frankly, that was half of my wife's clients. But the thing is, I'm not bitching about the other half that were completely fucking based. Like, based people in fucking Marin. Like we know one, I can't say her name, but she's like this high class baker. Like she makes, like she's, you know, she made like cupcakes and stuff for the stars and shit. Fucking based woman. Love her to death. And she, Yeah, she lived right near Corte Madera. She was one of my favorite people in the world. She still is, by the way. But then there's these wacky fucking woke white women who are bored, who are married to their lawyer, doctor, husband, who works in San Francisco or for some tech company, and their job is just full-time philanthropy, and they are fucking hypocrites. They're like, oh, we're going to help the underprivileged, marginalized people, but they see a black person in their neighborhood, they're running for the fucking hills. They're just like the end of Peacemaker. What's trippy is Marin is really expensive, really nice. Lucasfilm's up there. I worked in San Rafael, sunny San Rafael. That's where I worked. I worked in Corte Madera. There's Larkspur. There's the Redwoods out there. The Marin Headlands. It's fucking beautiful. It's beautiful. Sausalito. Lots of gay people on boats. It's fucking beautiful. It's right near where Robin Williams lived and unfortunately died, right across the bay. Yeah, spent a lot of time up there. But yeah, the white women are fucking crazy. What I didn't know is about Marin City. And I drove by it all the time, but didn't see it. And in Marin City, there's like a projects in the middle of fucking Marin. It's fucking nasty. Didn't know it was there. Had no reason to go there. But yeah, that exists. Sausalito. Gay people on boats. Eric knows what I'm talking about. Favorite non-Tolkien Martin fantasy novels: Elric, Conan. I mean Conan first. But it goes for me, it's Tolkien, Howard, Moorcock, not Michael Moorcock, and then George. Gary hates Star Wars so much, he got rid of all his Star Wars dolls. Or action figures, Eric. We've already had this talk before. Okay. Don't let me have to have this chat with you again. Thank you for these streams, Gary. They get me through the grind and stress of life. Oh, you're welcome. I mean, it's reciprocal, believe me. Also, please come do a meetup in Utah. We all love you here. I will be going to Utah. There is a convention that Skinwalker Ranch people do. And there's Angel Studios, but more, Melissa has multiple relatives in that state. A couple cousins, a couple uncles who all own ranches and property. So we will definitely be in Utah. Plus, it's a beautiful state. Absolutely beautiful state. So I will be there sooner than later. Thank you for the $4.99. Hey, Gary, did you ever accidentally break your glasses and have to tape them back together like the stereotype? Yes. Metalhead. Yes. Like a lot. Like a lot. And when I was fucking poor, if I broke them, then I'm going to work with tape on my fucking glasses because my prescription is fucking expensive. It's $500 a pop every time. $500 to $600 a pop. Now, being the bougie person I am now, I only get Ray-Bans. And I get Ray-Bans because they're strong. I like how they look, but they're strong. They can take a beating. But I used to back in the 80s and 90s, I had like little John Lennon glasses. That's what I wore. Tried contact lenses for a while, but my eyes couldn't handle it. But yes, definitely use the tape. Gary, in Final Crisis, Batman couldn't outrun Darkseid's Omega Beam, you're right, and got sent back to DC's past for a year. Yep. I still think he can do it, though. Maybe not all the time. Amtrak, Paul from San Francisco. Are you really in San Francisco, Paul? Hell, brother. Oh, Final Crisis. I remember actually that comic book made me a lot of money at the comic store. It did. Was I a fan of it? No. I actually liked Identity Crisis a lot more. Gary, if you, even the Dr. Light raping Sue Dibney in the dollar comic book, Jesus Christ, that caused a little controversy. Paul. Oh no. Gary, if you want something quickly completable and casual friendly for spooky gaming, I would love to see you on Until Dawn or Dark Picture Game. John Gets Gaming for $5. I need to game. I do. But I'm just going to go back to The Witcher. What I want to figure out is doing Return of the King and Two Towers PS2. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Gary likes Boogie Nights for Heather Graham's boobs. A bush. Boogie Nights is a fucking all-time great movie. That opening shot is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Good soundtrack. Great acting. Burt fucking Reynolds, dude. Mad Cow, thank you for the $10. Appreciate it. Jake Tamman. Yo, Gary, what's your favorite episode of Arrow? Ooh, I don't know the title. I haven't seen Arrow in a long fucking time. It's the one with this is not going to narrow it down, with Deathstroke. When Deathstroke comes in. But honestly, I haven't given Arrow a thought in a decade. Maybe I should rewatch season 1 and 2. I know Ryan recently did. In the midst of cultural crap and IRL turmoil, the Ripper personal news made me smile and hopeful. He's doing great content to counter the crud is this way. Scott McKenzie, it was great to see Eric, the Black Atomic family. He's talked about it. You know, the black middle class, I got to make it racial, but he's the one who brought it up. Was decimated by the Democratic Party in the 60s, and we really need to get back to that complete middle class black family. And like America doesn't get fixed until that gets fixed, and that's just a fact. And traditional values, giving those kids hope, not sending them through the meat grinder or fucking prison all the time. They need better role models. They need dads. They do. But Eric is a testament to the he'll hate this, to the American dream, baby. To the American dream. That's what Eric is. He also hates taxation is theft. I just paid my taxes, and I feel like the Black Knight at the end of the battle in Monty Python. I do. Taxation is theft. Fuck taxes. It's a little easier. Being in Texas, a lot easier, by the way. Bless you, Scott. Thank you for the $9.99. A lot easier in Texas than it is in California. Property tax, I mean, they bitch a lot, and they should. It's pretty high, but it's nowhere near my California property tax, so whatever. Chrissy and Daniel Knopf of Carnival on Amazing. The show Carnival, Matthew? I love Carnival. I've loved that fucking show. That was Ronald D. Moore. Look up Mitsuharu Kanraji and see why Hollywood won't make a faithful Demon Slayer adaptation. Goes against their values visually and character-wise. So Mitsuharu Kanjori. I think we're going to Japan next year. Oh, okay. But she's a hot woman. She's a redhead. I mean, she looks, that's hot. So of course they would want that to be a dude, Hunter Schafer or whatever. But you're right. Serenity turned 20 in September. Thank you, Southeastern Kaiju. I was already feeling old enough. You son of a bitch. Did I miss any formal studio announcements? I'm a leaf on the wind. How much? Fuck, I wish I would have known that. I would have Mahler. Maybe we still can. Maybe we can do a Serenity live stream. Hang on. Serenity release date was fuck. It's today. It's today. All right. I'll see if I can whip up a quick 20th anniversary. It'll be a week late, but I'll see if it's possible. I'll see if I can gather some guys and we can just do a live stream like we did for Lord of the Rings and stuff. It's one of my all-time favorite science fiction movies. One of the best villains, one of the most complex villains in all of science fiction. I would dare say a masterpiece of a movie. And it didn't do well because they did too many free screenings and it really wasn't that big of an audience, man. They showed, I went to all the Serenity panels. There was about 6, half a dozen. I went to multiple free screenings. Yeah. And it didn't do well, but God damn, that movie looks good. And it proved like Joss Whedon can direct. And that's why he directed one of the best Marvel movies ever. And complete wacko on TDS. I'm wondering. Now, I doubt Joss Whedon's going to put on a MAGA hat, but I'm wondering what his politics are now. Now that all of his allies threw him under the bus. And let's keep in mind, like, they've thrown some horrible shit at Joss Whedon. And I think politically he was a fucking retard. But getting on the guy for, and yes, he was a male feminist who fucking banged every fucking young chick. He was around and cheated on his wife. My suggestion is, if you are a creative in Hollywood, if you're a producer and director, don't get married. Don't get married. But I'm not going to condemn the guy, and I don't think he should lose his career for banging actresses and being a dick. I just don't. Absolutely don't. Like, but typical male feminist. So I don't know if he's learned, and I don't know if he maybe has seen the light like some other guys, which doesn't mean you're flipping to Trump, but you're maybe going, maybe my side was a little extreme and hypocritical and full of shit too. We'll see. I know a couple guys like that. Who after they got ejected, they're like, oh, wow. And they notice, like, for example, Robert Meyer Burnett, rightly so, by the way, got pretty emotional when the black security guard was murdered on the street during the Black Lives Matter riot. The black security guard protecting his elderly man, doing spare time, didn't think anything was going to happen, protecting his friend's shop, was murdered. And he got mad. And he got really fucking mad. And he said he's like, people need to be armed to defend against this stuff. Something that not that controversial gets thrown under the bus by absolutely everything, by absolutely everybody. All his collider pals. Christian Harloff threw him under the bus. Can't remember if John Rocha did. He just seems like the kind of guy who would do it. By the way, that man has no neck and no spine and no balls. I'm not a big fan of the old Collider guys. I never used to watch them, but it's, what they've said, not about me, about you guys, about people who watch this channel, what they've said about that. Fuck you guys. Fuck you, you no neck fuck. They can say what they want about me, but they get into the people who watch me. It's like, I'm sorry, John Rocha, your highbrow viewing there, your low tier highbrow viewing. I digress. People threw Robert under the bus. You know who backed him? We did. Jeremy, me, and to his credit, and I respect him to this day for it, John Campea. John Campea was the one guy who didn't fucking throw Robert under the bus, didn't say shit publicly, and supported him. So I'll always respect John for that. But everybody else threw Robert under the bus because he had a very emotional statement about that guy being murdered. So fuck them. 20th anniversary of Serenity. Gary, I'm a big fan of Man of Steel, but I obviously know the Superman, Donner Superman is king and masterpiece. I don't know why people tear down what came before to justify their thing. It's a Snyder Bro thing, and it's not all Snyder Bros. Listen, most Snyder Bros pretty cool. Like Tyrone Magnus, pretty cool dude, right? I don't know if he's a Snyder Bro or not. Mikey Gussler come in and sling it, but that's Mikey, man. We love Mikey, and it's okay to have that opinion. I could say, like, without a doubt, with no hesitation, and for one, I've never hated the Man of Steel. I'm not a Man of Steel hater at all. I kind of liked it. There's a couple of things I didn't like in it. Pa Kent was retarded. As far as Superman damaging the city, that doesn't bother me. I mean, have you seen Superman, the animated series? Have you seen Justice League Unlimited? Have you read a comic book? A lot of destruction happens in the city. Killing Zod. I wish they would have found another way to do something like that, but I get what they did. That's fine. I have way more criticisms of Batman versus Superman. Way more criticisms of that. But Man of Steel, I like it. And it is a far, and I mean, not even fucking close, far superior movie to James Gunn's Superman in tone, in earnestness, a cohesive story. You might disagree with some of the decisions, but I see where the decisions come from, and they actually lead to something. There's action, consequence, cause and effect. It's pretty easy to follow. And there's epic moments with an epic soundtrack. And it really did try. I think it went too dark. I think you lighten it up a little bit, it would have been better. But basically doing Zod and Ursa again, not entirely against that. But it's a far superior movie. Now, Donner's is the best. It captures the tone of Spider-Man, but like Man of Steel, I own it. I've watched it multiple times, but I've never hated it. I wouldn't call myself a Snyder bro. I was a fan of Zack Snyder's work, and I'll stand by that. His pedigree is, Jeremy and I had an argument. He might change his mind now, that Zack Snyder has directed more good films than Jar Jar Abrams. Watchmen is a masterpiece. I love 300. I fucking hate Sucker Punch with every fiber of my being because I worked on it. But yeah, I like Man of Steel. Like it a lot. More is the best Bond. A View to a Kill is the best movie. Grace Jones launched me into puberty because of that movie. I like coffee like I like my women. Hot, black, and bitter. Grace Jones was hot. Very unusual looking Bubba Doom, but really fucking hot and not afraid to get naked. Like at all. Yeah, I grew up on More. So Live and Let Die is one of my favorite Bond movies. Everybody Hates Man with the Golden Gun. I fucking love it. What would you guys say is the best Moore movie? It's probably Spy Who Loved Me, right? Or For Your Eyes Only. One of those two. Great movies. Lee Kindler has become a member. Thank you. Thoughts on Trump burning Hollywood into the ground? Jimmy Hoops for $1.99. I mean, I don't think the tariffs are going to burn him into the ground, and he's trying to actually fucking help them. But they won't take the help. Somebody made the joke that Trump should go out and publicly say everybody should get an abortion Abortions are the best. It's the best to kill your baby, to get rid of your baby. It's not a living thing. It's just a bunch of cells. Get rid of abortions, and all the women would immediately stop getting abortions. I think you should start using that reverse psychology a little bit. Yeah, I can't say I understand how the applicability of the tariffs on foreign films. Now, if you want to start hitting, penalizing people, everybody going to the UK, I think you could do that. And love my friends in the UK. We have a larger than normal percentage of UK subscribers for Nerdrotic on the main channel than your average channel, told to me by my partner manager, who, when we were going over the stats, he's like, wow, you got a lot of Brits. And I'm like, I think it's Doctor Who, and Lord of the Rings, but lots of Brits. We love you guys. America first. I have a Union Jack right up there. I have a St. George flag hanging up in the closet. Love my Brits. America first. Plus, we have a diversity of geography that you should just film everything here. We've got jungle. We've got high desert. We've got sandy desert. We've got Mediterranean. We got subtropical. We got tropical. Frozen tundra. Hot take: Green Lantern 2011 is better than Gunn Superman. Ooh. I haven't watched it in a while. The weirdest thing about that movie, Jake, is my youngest son, who is a little bit on the spectrum, never been scared of anything in a movie ever. Like, ever. That cloud, the parallax cloud, scared the shit out of him, to the point where I'm like, whoa. So I don't know what about that cloud scared the crap out of my kid. I mean, admittedly, he was what, five or six. Probably shouldn't have taken him to that movie. Probably not. It's the only time he's ever been scared. Mr. Z became a member. Thank you, Mr. Z. I've seen Reverend Horton Heat live. Scary crowd. Southeastern Kaiju. That might be, who is the band I've seen the most live? I'm pretty sure it's Reverend Horton Heat. I've seen Reverend Horton Heat like 40 times. Those are my people. Psychobilly, tattooed, old punk rockers. Those are my people. And Reverend's based. And he's from Texas. Bales of Cocaine. It's a great song. Dropping from the flying plane. Don't know where they come from, but I thank them just the same. And then Eat Meat. It's a good song. I want my $400. Galaxy 500. Martini Time. Great album. Liquor in the Front's his best album. Liquor in the Front. Mexicans been following you since this Mexican's been following you since the beginning of the Doctor Who era. First super chat. Oh shit, wrong button. Hang on. Question: why don't you say the nice phrase you always said at the end of your videos anymore? Salud from H-Town. Which one? May the wings of liberty never lose a feather, and not all who wander are lost. I can bring it back. I just thought it kind of run its course, but maybe we can bring it. We can bring it back. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather. 007, The Spy Who Loved Me, and Navy uniform impressed me as a kid. The movie has it all: underwater bases, submarines, and the Lotus Esprit, hot babes, and Jaws. I think you might get an argument in the chat, accidental seller, but it'd be a good one, a good debate. What is the best Roger Moore Bond film? And why is it either For Your Eyes Only or The Spy Who Loved Me. Although my favorite is Live and Let Die. Lord of the Rings book edition version. Oh, which that you recommend? Well, there's a revised edition that came out in the 60s. But if you got a little chitter chatter, there is oh my God, what's the name of that? Folio Society. Pretty sure it's Folio Society. Folio Society, LOTR. Yeah, okay. So there's a deluxe Folio Society. And then there's Epic Reads, which is all the one book. The one I prefer, Easton Press. So Easton Press is gold leather, green leather bound with gold trim. It's going to run you like $600. $600. But if you don't want to pay $600, then I would go $200 and you get the Folio Society. Otherwise, just go on eBay and search. There's a lot of first American prints, but it's from the 70s. And I'm pretty sure it's Bantam Books. Bantam Books, first print from the 70s. You could probably get it for like $100. And that's got a map on the side and stuff. That was my first version of the book, which I still have. But Easton Press is my favorite. I have lots of versions of the book. No first printings. I'm not that loaded. Can you get back? Can we get back to the 20 episode seasons a year? I think if they do that, they will force out lazy leftists and bring back talented writers and producers. I don't think you're wrong on that one at all, Matthew. I think that will have the cream rise to the top. Dan and Dave are messing up even with Prime. They were in their prime. They were. Now the people have gone back and looked at it. Listen, they have budgetary limitations, and I get that, but their deliberate decision to pretty much diminish magic was a fucking horrible decision. Now I know the Charlie Kirk hater, commie expat patriot piece of shit who doesn't even live in this country but works for the government, Preston Jacobs, thinks that A Song of Ice and Fire, there's no real magic and it's just a post-apocalyptic world, which is retarded since George said there's actual magic, and the magic has been increasing as the book series goes on. That was one of their biggest mistakes. Quite frankly, if you want to stack up House of the Dragon season 1 to the other Game of Thrones, it's in top 3. It's in the top 3. It's more book accurate. The only thing I really took away from season 2 that I was excited about was introducing the Green Men, putting weirwood trees in King's Landing, and there's one at Harrenhal. We got a glimpse of Bloodraven, you know. Here's where they're going to fuck up House of the Dragon. They're going to go full on Team Rhaenyra. And I don't want to spoil anything, but pretty much everybody in the show comes to a pretty horrible end. Just want to put it out there. You were all like, who is going to survive Game of Thrones? And a bunch of people survived. Well, if they stick to the books on this one, a few people, but and some of it is horrible, but they went tame. They went tame with Blood and Cheese. They went fucking soft, man. So fucking soft. But yeah, they were fucking up too. And they're fucking up their new show, 3 Body Problem. I think we'll get season 2 and what by the time actual aliens invade. I only learned today that a techno mage from B5 was also Commander Kang from the original Star Trek, Michael Esnara. Yes, Gawker's Death Rattle. Techno mage, one of my favorite characters in Babylon 5. Will the old Perry Chan FNT intros ever return? Snacks for $2? Yes, someday they will return. Right now we're having Perry focus on Nerdrotic Daily. Those intros take a lot of time to put together. I'm going to have him working on some evergreen videos. So in the future, yes, but probably not till at the very early. No, I don't think even this year. I've got too much work for him, but they'll return. They will. Thanks for asking. Perry's doing a great job with Nerdrotic Daily. As a matter of fact, I think he put out my One Battle After Another review. The poor guys, after Savant was canceled, I was kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing for a video. I told Garrett, well, maybe I'm going to do this thing. Then the next morning, nope, scratch that. We're definitely going to do this thing. Then the next morning, nope, scratch that. Now I'm not going to do anything. Then I call him a couple hours later. Nope, we're doing J.K. Rowling now. It's the nature of the gig. It's the nature of the gig. But we've got a lot of evergreen planned for you over the next 3 months. Lists, top 10s, some roasting Hollywood ones and some fun ones. As a matter of fact, there's a fun one that I think is going to create some spicy, passionate debate on the channel in a very good way, though, like normal nerd arguing. So I'm going to get you guys arguing, but it's not over politics. It'll be over like what you think is the best. Oh, child abduction from Grapevine, Texas. Suspect vehicle, white Ford F-150. Kaylin Richards, 13 years old, black female, last seen wearing a black hoodie with black tank top underneath, black sweatpants, and pink Crocs. Hope she gets found. It's the one where comes home from work and exterminates the puppy and grandma. Put him in the cubby. Take care. Tilt. What was that from? What? Huh? Who exterminates a puppy and grandma? Fuck that. I'm against that. I was in LA Comic-Con and I thought, I need Nerdrotic here to decode half the shit to save me from this bad stuff. Archer Merchant for $5. Just go for the comic books. The ones that are old, they're mostly good. Sorry you went there and it was disappointing, but they have a disappointing owner right now. Dark Schwartz Rising says, hey, big gulps, huh? Hey, big gulps, huh? All right, see you later. That's Jay. Also, thoughts on AI Stan Lee. I was a bit shocked. I respect Paul Chato a lot, and he's like, what's the difference between that and a banner? And if it was just him, if it was just an image of Stan like welcoming you in, I wouldn't have a problem. But an interactive AI where they ask the question about a loaded question about the civil rights movement and how it was how it influenced the X-Men, which is 100% untrue. Stan Lee invented the X-Men, so he didn't have to invent origins for superheroes. So it turned into Malcolm X and Martin Luther King later through Claremont. They definitely had that in mind later, but that's not how it started. X-Men was always X-Men was never my favorite book. Never. I love the Cockrum run, or Claremont Byrne Cockrum run. Jim Lee and their runs were really good with Claremont. It was a fucking soap opera. And I always got too soap opera free. I was a meat and potatoes guy. I like fucking Daredevil, Captain America, Hulk, and Spider-Man and the Avengers. That's what I liked. And then I liked all the Marvel horror characters. So Ghost Rider, Brother Voodoo, Morbius, Man-Thing, Frankenstein, Deathlock, like all these weird, I liked all that shit. But man, I like my regular Marvel superheroes and wasn't that into the X-Men. Especially after, I think it was Age of Apocalypse, I just kind of dipped out for a long time. And because I always felt like that comic was a little gay. And it then went really gay. I don't know why I started talking about that instead of AI Stan Lee. AI Stan Lee If it was another person, I probably wouldn't. We're talking about Stanley and not this being applicable to other celebrities or people. That guy got so fucked over at the end of his life that they just keep fucking him. And the people behind it are probably some of the people who fucked him over towards the end of his life, including possibly maybe some family. And he was just abused, taken advantage of. That's why I had a chance to have him sign at my store, Archer, and I turned it down because the guy I was dealing with was such a fucking scumbucket. I wanted to break his fucking jaw. I did. I wouldn't have, because I'm a dad. I don't know. Maybe if you'd have got me at the wrong time when I was in the relapse, I probably would have fucking popped him and broke his jaw. But he was just such an annoying, pushy piece of shit. And he wanted me to charge my customers, my loyal customers, $125 a ticket so they can get Stan's autograph. And I was like, can I just pay for the appearance fee? And that way I don't charge my customers. But the setup had to be a ticket that they had to control all the money. So I'm like, fuck off. And I'm glad I did, because that guy ended up being a giant piece of shit. But I had a chance. He went over to my friend's shop, Frank, which Frank's a great guy at Amazing Fantasy on 7th and Irving in San Francisco. If you're there, go to that store. Frank's a wonderful human being. But he got it instead. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, I'll let you know, you and Mahler have gotten me to buy the extended editions, and I watch it as a Christian Christmas movie. I watch it all the time during the holidays. And it is a very Christian, spiritual piece of work. And credit to Peter Jackson. He left a lot of that subtly, but a lot of it there. But Lord of the Rings is a spiritual work. Now, some of the Tolkien commie scholars will tell you it's not, and they don't know, like, shame on them. Wolvie, the quarter Jew, became a YouTube member. Nice mouth. You didn't say we'll call it a draw to the IRS. I did not. The machete order, I did not. I said, you stole from me. You robbed me. You fucking robbed me, you pieces of shit. Yet I'm the one who goes to jail. Fuck off. That's why it's really important, kiddos. I hate it when people do that. I don't know why I keep doing that. Adults. If you're getting into content creation of any kind, where it brings in a certain amount of money at a certain point, LLC that shit as soon as you can. I'm working with Larry Sharp. I was wondering if you would be willing to come on a live stream with him Saturday, November 1st for 20 minutes. Philip, I know Larry. Maybe, yeah. Talk to X-Ray Girl. Yeah, Philip, if I can. Ooh, November 1st. Where am I November 1st? As long as I'm not in Egypt. Pope Zombie Stomp for 50. Hail. That just drops 50 and walks away. Thank you. Appreciate it. Batman for $5. Thank you for everything you do. I love you guys. I'd stick around, but I have to work in the morning. My real name is Sason Super Batman. Sason Super Batman fan. There you go. Go get to work. You can watch this later. Yeah, get to bed. Get to work. You got to be all rested up. You got to pay them bills. You got to make them dollars. Big Worm been a member for 23 months. Hey Gary, would love to see your ships hanging from the room on X. Caught a glimpse in that last vid. I'm so jealous of so many pieces. Live long and prosper. Live long and prosper. Yeah, I've got a lot of enterprises. I need to hang up a couple more, but yeah, when we do the more intensive tour, I will show you everything that's hanging from the ceiling. Hell yeah. Thank you, Big Worm. War Eagle TV for $4.99. Thoughts on Hegseth comments and fat shaming fat troops? I think hazing is is in the interest of national security. I have no problem with shaming fat troops. You need to not be fat if you're in the military. Period. I'm not in the military, and I exercise constantly, and I'm not fat because I don't want to be fat. Also, it's really good for recovery to work out. It's kind of an obsessive thing. But if you're in the military and you're a cop, you should be in shape. If you want to be fat, be fat. I'm not going to shame you for that, but not on my dime, War Van Eagle. Not on my dime. Get your fat ass out to whatever, the PT or whatever the fuck they do. I don't know. I think shame is good. Shame is good. Shame, I felt lots of shame. Shame motivated me. Shame motivated me when I was a worthless, fucking fat drug addict. Garrett Beckley for $5. The individual desires judgment. Without the desire, the cohesion of groups is impossible, and so is civilization. Echelon, the is that 5 or is that 4 or 6? Fourth. Echelon, the fourth prototype Morpheus. What mic do you use again, Gary? SSJ Lalo for $2. It is a are you ready? An LCT 240 Pro. LCT 240 Pro. Glenn Beck uses these. These are basically Shure mics that are more affordable, but it's the same people. So the people who made the Shure mic made this, and I think you can get one for $150. These were supposed to be my travel mics. I have an EV, and this is better than the EV that I paid $400 for. So this is an LCT 240 Pro, and Garrett's the one who turned me on to them. And I think they use them on, or they used to use them on Crowder. Yo, Gary, currently watching Ash versus Evil Dead. Oh my God, that is a show you should be watching during spooky season. You just should. Thanks for the recommendation. I'm loving it so far. I'm in the middle of season 2. It's fucking fantastic. It's such a shame. We tried to save it, Jake, and well, my channel was very tiny. Very, very tiny. And I don't think I could have saved it even if I had a Mr. B-size channel. But we tried. Where in your life did something out of nowhere, like something happened to you, like, shit, let's science the shit out? Cooking meth? I would never say that in my life. Jonathan Wayne became a YouTube member. Thank you, Jonathan. Welcome. Jimmy Hoops for $1.99. WB were so lucky they had Chris Nolan in 2005, and they fucking pissed him off. And now he's gone. As a kid, I remember Onslaught arc confusing me. It confused me as an adult. I like some of it, but not a lot. And I was just done. Come to upstate New York. Rachel Green for 20. Thank you. Set up a huge tent in my hay field free of charge. Maybe you could help me feed 22 horses after. Or you want the horses to die? It'll be fun. Always wanted to meet you and the crew. Melissa has a lot of experience with horses. She knows how to feed them, ride them. She would love to do it. I'm not a horse. I mean, I don't hate horses. I have no desire to ride them, but why not? So upstate New York, there's a drive-in theater. Guys offered it to us to do a meetup. And I mean, we just got to find the time. It sounds awesome. The Dalek exterminates the family. Gary, trust me, Az and Dis and Mahler will be crying, laughing. We will save it for real BBC then, brother. We will save it for real BBC. And thank you. Like in the 90s, you want to be fat, not fat. Hashtag hip hop, accidental seller. You want to be fat, not fat. Yes, I do remember Pocket Classic books and Big Little books, Grizzly, Nightmare. I got a bunch of them. But I have the Pocket Classic books. As a matter of fact, I have a entire bookshelf of that's basically all the comic paperbacks, Marvel, DC movie novelizations, and then a ton of Conan and Elric books and William Rice Burroughs. Just a whole, like a little, like the bookshelf I had when I was a kid that just could fit paperbacks. I got one downstairs. I'll show it on the tour. That's got all the books you can read in an afternoon. God, remember when we were young and we'd see that like 150 page books? Like, that's going to take me forever to read. And fucking now I could just power through that pretty quick. Pretty quick. All right. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone for hanging out tonight. We're going to have to do another one. We still got like, let me see. Yeah, we still got like 50 from Friday Night Tights to do. But I got to go to bed. I got to finish my dinner. Then I got to go to bed. So we'll probably do something Thursday. Maybe I can game while I'm doing it. If X-Ray Girl like holds my hand. There's a lot of writing and production talent floating around now. How can we start making something and start building the Nerdrotic studios? Oh boy, Philip. That is, it's enough to keep my YouTube channel, just to do my YouTube channel. Like this takes a ton of time. This takes a ton of, but start your own, start doing your own stuff. It's easier now than ever to make a web series, a web comic, a short film. Editing is now easier than ever. The equipment is cheaper than ever. Shit, when I started editing, you know, you were still paying a couple $1,000 for editing equipment. And that doesn't go back to what Chris used to be able to edit on film. And that was fucking just, you couldn't do it at your house. But yeah, I think it's important that you do it. Yeah, the YouTube channel, this is a, some might not, and it's fine if people feel that way. Well, streaming's easy. Streaming's easy as far as, you do, you know, I don't do any prep, but it's easy for me because I'm into this shit all fucking day. I'm reading articles all fucking day. I'm going over stuff that, there's more stuff I don't talk about on streams or don't do videos for, but I intend on going there at least for research. And I might pull the information later, but long story short, 5-6 hours a day researching, doing stuff just to maybe be prepared. I was talking to Mueller about this. You know, if I was going to do, so when I did my Alien Earth review, I didn't do a second one. I might someday, but I made sure to watch Alien and Aliens before that. If I was going to do the second half, I would have to watch all the other Alien movies. Now, do I have to? No, but I want them all fresh in my mind to be prepared to take on a new alien thing that might have nothing to do with them. But if I want to refer to it, I want that information right at the top of my head. Sure, I've seen them before, but I forgot. And it's good to have it fresh in your head. Anytime I review a television show, I watch each episode twice. And then while I'm working on it, I'm going through it. For a movie, I have to watch it twice. I have notes. So I think it's important. For one, I mean, I'm into this stuff anyway. So I was going to these entertainment sites and reading this shit before I even had a channel. So it's not work for me. But if people want to know, like, if you're going to like cover a niche like entertainment, it's not really a niche, but like a nerd niche, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. So if we're going to cover entertainment, like, and do, you know, and thankfully you guys have made Friday Night Tights the biggest #1 entertainment show on YouTube. It gets the most live stream viewers. It gets the most views, and it has for years now. And there's no show that's really close that just covers Hollywood and entertainment, not counting gaming. There's gaming channels are much bigger, but you know what I'm talking about. And that's a privilege. So we want to be as informed as possible, whether people agree with our opinions or not. So that means watching absolutely everything. And as much as we can, so we can recommend stuff, say it sucks, or at least be there conversationally for it. Right. That's the kind of effort that goes in that goes into this. For a video, average time to make a video for me, it's 6 to 8 to 12 hours of recording and researching and everything. And that's not counting Garrett's time editing or Perry's time editing and all the research they do. It's tons of fun, and I'm not complaining about this at all. It's just like, this is what goes into it. And this is the kind of effort that goes into it. Like, I'm sure Ask Little Platoon, how long it took him to make that 4-hour video. I know how long it's taken Mahler to make his next video. I know how much work he's put into it. I know how much hours a day. It's hours every fucking day. It's not like Mahler like just rolled out and said, I'm going to make this video in a week. No, actually I do that. But I make more videos. But yeah, I think it's, for one, I really love it. But I think it's important that if we're going to cover entertainment, we actually need to watch the shit. We actually have to know what we're talking about. Good, bad, or ugly. We have to know what we're talking about. Like I don't make videos off a headline. Like if a movie flops, right? Say for one battle after another is flop. And I'm not making a video anyway, but I wouldn't make a video unless I watched the movie. Not everybody has to do that. I'm not saying everybody has to do that, but that's my rules. So I wouldn't make a video without watching the movie. So I can give you going, hey, well, yeah, it should have flopped. And I think it's totally overpraised, by the way. Absolutely overpraised. It's woke Hollywood made for woke Hollywood, but I digress. I don't think I have time to start a studio because like this is my studio. This but thank you, Philip, for the and maybe you guys should. Like props to my buddy Jeremy. Jeremy's got like big plans. They're awesome, by the way, that I fully support and can't wait to see for Geeks and Gamers. What he wants to do is very ambitious and fucking cool. I'm not that ambitious. I ain't into herding cats. I never loved being a boss, even for the comic store with a couple employees. I fucking hated being a boss. I am super fucking lucky that I have the crew that I have. And I can say this publicly. If they ever go on to brighter pastures or anything, I will not replace them. They can't be replaced. They just can't. I'll just go back to editing my own stuff or whatever. Because there's no, I would never find anybody as good as Perry or Garrett. And not just good. Not just talented. They have the right mindset. Mindset and talent. And yes, all the talent in the world can be brought down by a weak or a fucked up or neurotic mindset. I don't have that problem with X-Ray Girl, with Perry, and with Garrett. They put up with me. They're really fucking cool. They're super chill. They get their fucking work done. And they're having fun. Right. So I don't think I'd ever find a replacement for that. So I'm super, super lucky that I have two of the best editors in the biz that I'm sure other channels want. But I'm a fucking awesome boss, so they never leave me. That's not true. But yeah, it's pedal to the metal. We're gonna keep doing this, but as far as like cons and other things, the idea sounds great, and I'm really honored that you guys would include me and want me to be a part of that. But man, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, and the channel at the same time. This is a full-time gig. It's fun as hell. But ask my wife how many times she sees me. Sometimes like she's at home and she doesn't see me for like 3 days. 3 days. But yeah. But you guys should try it. Oh, look at that. I love you too, boo. He's all gay. But I'm super lucky that I have it's mindset. That's so fucking important. And listen, back in early in my working career, I had a shitty mindset, and I had to learn like having a good attitude at work really makes you a better worker, and talent and mindset go hand in hand. There is the rare tour director who's a complete fucking psychopath, but he's so fucking good. People will put up with him. But most people are, their talent cannot surpass how much of a pain in the ass they are. And eventually people get sick of it. Like, I don't really give a fuck how talented you are. You're a fucking dick. Bye. I like lean and mean. That's basically where I'm comfortable. Too many things start happening. I don't know. It's kind of like juggling. I start dropping everything. It's knowing your limitations, man. I like Creature Commandos and Superman, but I respect you, and I respect you, Movie Erotic. I respect you. You can like what you want. They aren't the worst things ever made. I could have liked Creature Commandos a lot more, Movie Erotic, because I like some of the characters they picked quite a bit. But I didn't. Gary, when I was in the military, I was in charge of the remedial PT for my battalion. Only 5% passed and stayed in the military. The rest were discharged out. Well, good. We want that 5%. Stymie. Wargill TV for $19.99. Sergeant, are you allowed to eat jelly donuts? Pile. Sir. No, sir. Sergeant, why are you not private pile? Pile. Sir, because I'm too heavy, sir. Sergeant, because you are a disgusting fat body. R.I.P. R. Lee Army. God, the world's just not as good a place without him in it. Will you ever do a short story or a comic for Ripperson Saints and Sinners? Justin Martin's, yes. If they want me back, if they're doing another one and they ask me, yes, I will not be writing my own book. And I got a couple stories in my head. I'm hearing it like good things. I guess I get it tomorrow. I'm hearing good things about Saints and Sinners, and I cannot wait to read it. War Song 99 for 20 Canadian pesos. Hi, love the show. With your wisdom, can you explain Tenet? If not, hit us with your favorite Big Trouble and Little China, and bonus also favorite Shatner Trek lines or line. Oh boy. Okay. I cannot explain Tenet, and I've only seen it once. Maybe if I try to see it again. And it's like I told my last wife, I never drive faster than I can see. It's all in the reflexes. Favorite Shatner line. God, it's been a minute since I've watched. It's definitely from Star Trek II. It's definitely from Star Trek II. I'd have to think about that, though. I'll get back to you on that. There's so many. I mean, I really like Here It Comes. It's not a line, but I just fucking love. Oh, dude. I've been here with Gary since before it all. You have, Eric. Just about. He was a little acorn that grew into a mighty oak. I remember the days of 15, 20 people in the chat. I was the only one talking. I remember those days, Eric. And you're the only one left. Remember Viking Bitch? She's the one who gave me the spoiler paddle. Yeah, she didn't like the political thing. Viking Bitch. And Brian Smart still shows up once in a while, Eric. Brian, once in a while will throw a super chat and he'll be out there lurking around. And Brian is OG. OG. God, that goes back to Expanse, early days. Nyla Shadow, you're still around. Yes, you are, buddy. Yes, you are. How many years, Nyla Shadow? How many years? Piano Dean for $10. I'm still here too, Gary. What's up, Piano Dean? I'm 5 days away from 8 years sober. Hail, brother. I can't quit you. Cash Kester's been here forever. There's a lot of people who stuck around. There's some people who didn't, including some hosts. Including some hosts. But I think everything just worked out for the best, don't you, Eric? Oh, way back to the Game of Thrones days, Barton. There you go. Nyla Shadow's been around for a long fucking time. First season of Discovery. That's right, baby. 2017. And thank you for all you do, Eric. Yeah, you've been around. Eric's like my work wife now. It's kind of crazy. Hail Piano Dean, by the way, and hail Eric. Okay, I do have to get out of here, but thanks. It's been tons of fun. So we'll do more Nerdrotic at nights in the future. I don't know if there's anybody else streaming. Let me see. Oh, look, my video came out. If there's nobody streaming, then I'm gonna give you a Robert Meyer Burnett is streaming. I don't know if you want to roll into his chat saying Nerdrotic sent you, because you'll get a bunch of you're a Nazi. But Robert's streamings and Robert's night streams are fucking great. So this one is horror films have haunted the 2025 box office, but are they really any good? Well, one of them is. Robert, always insightful, great. And if you don't want to watch Robert, then go over to Little Platoon's channel and watch his Superman review. You can watch it in parts. It's 4 hours long, but yeah, that's where I recommend you go. That's where I go. Check out Robert or Little Platoon. Can DC Compact Comics save them or doomed? I think it's a good idea. I don't think it'll save them, but it's not a bad idea. The price range is good. And they're kind of neat looking. I like them. I think they should just make their new comics good. if that's Thrill in Manila is now 50 years old today. RIP. Oh, Muhammad Ali. Greatest to ever live. What a fucking the GOAT. All right. But yeah, the compact comics are a good idea, Yamada. I support them, and they're cheaper. I like the price point on them. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. And we'll be doing another one probably Thursday night. All right, my people. So have yourself a good evening. Ciao.